So right now, you're being aggressive, right? So you're violating my Third Amendment right because I'm quartering with an enemy combatant.
It is what it is. We're all sick from disinformation. We all live for twisted sensations. Kids are safe, but too well behaved to feel. Never heal with the fakes. Go make something real. What if what you've always believed in was not considered treason? Is this what we moving right in news with no meaning? Take it or leave it, the way you see it is the end result. Angels and demons.
What's up, guys? Hope everyone's having a good day. Just hanging out. Thought I'd go live. A few news stories I saw that caught my eye this morning. So I would talk about that and then maybe open up the panel or, see what's up. Give people a chance to come on in. So, am I too? Me. Hey, what's up, Chief? What's up, Carl?
Not much.
Oh, okay. We're gonna be talking about some headlines that I found quite interesting. What's up, Mrs. J?
Hey, Mrs. J.
Hi, Kenny. Hi, Carl. How are things?
We're going okay. How are things with you?
All right. Mr. J says hello. He's driving. Oh, hey, there's the Popo. Maybe we should stop and film him.
Maybe you should.
Do a live audit.
We can do a live audit if I could figure out how to use a goddamn phone.
I told you, get MOBAs in live. That's the way you're gonna do it.
Okay.
I told you twice now.
I did download it.
Uh-huh.
I haven't tried it yet, but I did download it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's what you need, and then you just put in your YouTube channel, and that's just it. It's easy, just easy peasy.
Okay. We'll give it a try. It'll let me go like for instance, I just passed an officer, had someone pull over. It will let me go live.
All you gotta do is open it up and make sure you link it to your channel, and you can go live.
Okay.
Hey, Chief.
What's going on, Chief?
Hi, Chief.
You there, Chief?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Going all right.
Pretty good.
Thanks for your service, by the way.
Things have been really weird for me. I've been having squirrels outside my place of residence, just kind of watching me, and I'm not very comfortable with it.
Hey.
And if anyone ever wondered how many squirrels it takes to operate a cell phone camera? I have the answer. How many do you think?
I ain't telling.
3. One on each side of the camera, and one operating the camera, doing the zoom in and zoom out in the middle. It takes 3 of them to operate a cell phone.
Shit.
What's going on, Pat? Hey, May. Extortion Watchers, what's up?
Well, then you have to have a fourth one to be in front of the camera. So.
Well, no, there's 3 because there's one in front of one. Nah, they don't have to be in front of the camera. Right? Frauditard spies, absolutely.
Oh, true. I thought you were referring to that call you got.
Hey, don't look at me.
All right, so today I saw 2 headlines that really piqued my interest. So I'm going to talk about. All right. So the first one is shoot. Where is that? All right. I really hate Twitter. Okay. Instead of using helmet decals, Carl, can you mute your mic while you're not talking, please? Carl, can you mute your mic while you're not talking, please? Thank you. All right. Instead of using helmet decals, NFL players will be permitted to display the names of victims of police violence and or systematic racism on the white padding at the bottom of the helmet. Players may display names of victims of so like basically they'll be able to have names of people like Breonna Taylor or anyone that's a victim of it on their helmets. Right now, I was watching the news this morning, and there's a player that actually wants to have the name of a family member that's a police officer that lost their lives, serving during the course of duty, and they're wondering if they're going to be allowed to have their name on the back of the helmets for them too. So I'm curious to talk about the panel. First of all, what do you think about that idea? You think it's a good idea or not? And do you think that you should be able to have police officers that have lost their life in the line of duty as well as the other names that they're permitting? By the way, welcome Extortion Watchers.
Hey, what's up?
All right, so let's start with you, Extortion Watchers. What do you think? Did you see that story at all?
No, I just got up here. I didn't know what story you were talking about.
Yeah, it's a story like the NFL is going to allow players to have the names of people that have had like police brutality victims and the systematic racism victims. They're going to allow the names on the back of their helmets, where the team name used to be, but they're going to allow them to have other people's names. And there's somebody that wanted to have a police officer who lost his life in duty, but they're not sure if they're going to allow that. I personally think they should. I don't see why they wouldn't.
They should. That's
Yeah.
entering the First Amendment. If everybody else can do their thing, I think he could put police officer's name on his.
Now, do you agree that do you agree with the NFL in doing this, allowing people to speak their mind? I think it's a good idea because I think it's important. The world really getting involved in this change that needed to happen years ago, but it's finally happening. I think it's good, but I also don't think it should breed, any extra resentment towards law enforcement officers.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree.
What about you, Mrs. J? What do you think?
I think all professional sports should go to hell. Period. Because either I'm being led like a sheep, but that one NBA player that called the one white guy some kind of racial name, and the NBA did nothing about it. So either I'm getting false news or they can all kiss my ass because it's all bullshit. Because damn well they're not going to let that guy put the cop's name on a helmet. I know it. I know it. Yes, they should. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. But call me racist. I don't care. I just think enough is enough. You show me where it's doing good. I think it's just helping to divide. That's all there is to it.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, when it comes to racism, there needs to be a division. We need to divide out the people that are racist, and they need to conform because it's been way long enough, and it's been put on the back burner for so long that unfortunately something like this is needed in order to get some sort of change done. Now, they shouldn't. Now, that being said, they shouldn't exclude, this guy that's a player that wants to put a police officer's name on the back of his helmet. I mean, what if it's an African American police officer that dealt with systematic racism while he was on the police force?
Yeah, exactly.
Or what if it's an officer that was defending some sort of systematic racism and was killed in the line of duty? I mean, it shouldn't be And I don't want to see any more divide between the police and us than there is. And this is a very good way to show that divide. And it's stupid. They shouldn't do it. But no, again, we do need this kind of change. And it's good that NFL teams and sports teams and just public figures are looking at it and making sure that their audience knows, because there might be people that don't realize this as big a deal as it is. Is this a huge deal? Carl, what do you think?
I think they should be allowed to put police names. What the hell? My mic is acting up.
Chief, did you hear, or do you need me to re-explain what we're talking about?
Yeah, I got kicked off for some reason. My audio wouldn't work. But what was the topic?
What we're talking, the first one we're talking about is the NFL Players Union and all of them. They're going to allow players to start wearing, for this season, on the back of their helmets, the names of people that have lost their lives due to systematic racism or victims of police brutality on the back of their helmets, right? Now, one player, Carl, can you please mute your mic when you're not talking? Carl, I need you to mute your mic when you're not talking, please. Thank you. All right, just don't unmute it unless you're going to talk. That just everyone that way just makes it easier. All right, so Chief, again, one player wants to put the name of a police officer on the back of his helmet, and they're not sure if they're going to allow that. And I, for one, think they should allow something like that because they don't know what the reason is. They don't know if this is a bad cop. Excluding all cops is going to include the narrative that there are no good cops. You know what I mean? What do you think on that?
Well, I think if he wants to put the name of a police officer on the back of his helmet, I think people should respect his idea of what he wants to put on his helmet. If other people want to put the names of fallen people that may have been victims of systemic racism, they can do that too. I support anybody's First Amendment right. I don't care if it's on your football helmet or if it's on your license plate or if it's on the bumper of your car. If you have an opinion, I believe you should be able to express that opinion. So I really don't have a problem with that. But I mean, yeah, if somebody if some of the players in the players union have a problem with the guy putting the police officer's name on his helmet, that would be, I think, kind of racism from the other side. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if necessarily it will be racism, but it would be discrimination, because racism would imply that they're trying to get all white cops and only black African American individuals or minorities are the ones that are having some sort of issue with the police, which is not necessarily true. A lot of people have issues with, you know what I mean, deal with police get uppity police officers. You know, a lot of people deal with that. It's not just a minority community. So I think it just creates more of a divide between the police and the public by allowing this. Because you're going to get the people that feel, well, wait a minute, you're discriminating against the police just because this person has a uniform, and just because some of his brethren have decided to be idiots doesn't necessarily mean that this guy's an idiot. Like you, Chief, you're not an idiot. You're not an idiot, but there are idiots that have put on the uniform the same as you have. No one should discriminate against you just because you're a cop based off the actions of these other officers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I have fired officers that I thought that weren't up to the task. I never, ever in my entire career protected somebody that I thought violated somebody's civil rights or was out there just to harass people. I don't put up with that. And no other law enforcement officer in the country does. I think these are a select few. I think they're rare occasions, even though the media would play it up that it happens every other day. But I think the majority of police officers out there just want to help. And I can look at it from their point of view because I did it. And I never woke up in the morning and said I'm going to go and fuck somebody out of their civil rights today just to have a laugh. I never did that, and I don't know really anybody who did. But the people who did get fired, they crossed the line. There's a line, especially in professionalism. If you're an officer, you have to do the job the right way, 100% all the time. You can't cut corners, you can't lie, you can't steal, you can't cheat. And I think the majority of police officers out there do that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so the next story I wanted to talk about is kind of connected. Put it up on my phone. My phone's acting slow right now. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, so the article reads, thin blue line flag banned by Ohio school district after it was carried on the football field.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, that happened not too far from where I live. It's about an hour away, and believe me, everybody here is angry about that. They support the team's efforts.
Yeah, and they pretty much put it out there for a coach to show support for the coach. Right here it says, sorry, my phone is really slow right now. Stuff open, that's what it is.
I'm not,
Go ahead, Carl.
I'm not touching that.
Someone asked, should players be allowed to have all lives matter on helmets? I don't see why not. It's gonna tell me it's not working. Don't you hate it when your phone decides to not work, and then like 5 minutes later it tells you, oh, guess what? The app's not responding. No shit, the app's not responding. I knew that like 5 minutes ago.
I don't have a phone.
Lucky you.
Not really.
Tech savvy.
I'm very, but I can't get one now because of the virus.
Oh, wait, there no stores are open?
I don't know. I'm still recovering from morphing, so.
Okay. All right, so here we go. So I got the article. It says, an Ohio school district that experienced tragedy 8 years ago has banned the display of the thin blue line version of the American flag after students carried it onto the field before a high school football game on Friday night. Michael Hanlon, the superintendent of Chardon Local Schools, explained in a letter that the flag will not be part of future pregame activities. He explained that even though the carrying of the flag was not motivated by racism, but rather as a show of the relationship the schools had formed with first responders after the Chardon High School shooting in 2012, it can be seen as racially motivated. Okay, that's far-fetched. Based on discussions that ensued over the weekend, it does not appear that this action was motivated by racism, rather a show of support for one of our own coaches who serves as a police officer, as well as for the first responders in our community who have developed a special relationship with our school and students in the wake of our school tragedy of February 27, 2012, Hanlon wrote on Monday. Our school district is fundamentally anti-racist as reflected in Board of Education policies ranging from equal employment opportunity to matters of student and staff activities. Our goal is to ensure that all students, staff, and community members are provided the same opportunities to grow and learn in Chardon schools, and that this occurs in an environment that values the contributions of every school community member. Okay, so essentially, they're getting rid of it, and they're saying it wasn't racially motivated, but someone could see it that way, so we're just going to get rid of it altogether just so there's no confusion. What kind of bullshit is that? We'll start with you, Carl. What do you think?
Why don't they just ban the damn flag altogether? That's what it sounds like.
Okay. Mrs. J.
That's bullshit. the thin blue line, if anybody reads what it's about, has absolutely nothing to do with racism. It stands
Hey.
for togetherness and supporting the fallen officers.
Exactly.
I mean, it has it they're making it have to do with racism by saying it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Agent Cop, I agree. Witness supporting police make a person a racist. Now, here's another thing I want to point out. Now, there isn't just a blue line flag. First responders have a yellow line flag, right? Fire department has the thin red line. I mean, there goes on. It's not just the police are the only ones that have this flag. No one's getting up in arms about the first responders flag, saying, "Oh my God, you're desecrating our flag." No. There's other motivations for this, hatred towards the thin blue line. Because if it were simply just about just desecrating our flag, then everyone will be up in arms about the thin yellow line, the thin red line. But they're not. It's just showing that there are a lot of people out there that just are anti-police. Source Walkers, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm scared of the blue line flag. I'm scared of it, honestly. I mean, just the potential of it like taking over the American flag. But at the same time, I'll be damned if I like try to censor anybody else's opinions or anything. So I think they should totally be able to have that flag. So
Yes, especially after the police did such a good job back in 2012 helping them, get through a school shooting. I mean, they're just showing sports, say, "Hey, look, man, you saved our lives. We want to show that we appreciate that." And the best way to do that is not just to honor them, but to honor their coach. It was completely, it was innocent. It was an innocent display of the thin blue line flag that all of a sudden turned political. The school banned it for pure political reasons. Because the school know what it meant. They knew, but one person complained, and all of a sudden now there's an issue. Chief Tuttle, what do you think?
I hate questions like this because I back the blue. I don't care. I got a blue line flag flying outside my house right now, right next to the American flag.
Amen, brother.
I don't think it's offensive. I don't think it's racist. I think it's, if anything, it's a symbol of professionalism. And like you said, the yellow line flag, the red line flag, the gray line flag. There's a lot of flags out there that represent certain professions. But since it seems to me in this country right now, in recent weeks, it's been really, really popular to be anti-police. And I don't know if you guys see this like I see it, because I'm kind of looking at it from one point of view, because I used to be law enforcement. But it seems to be politicians, sports stars, celebrities, they're all hopping on an anti-police bandwagon. And that just seems to be popular right now. So, but yeah, I think they should be able to carry that flag on the field.
I totally agree. I don't see the big issue behind it. I mean, I do get that systematic racism is real. It's not something that's made up. But at the same time, it's like I think they need to take everything by a case-by-case basis, especially with this. It's like, come on, they're saying thank you, coach, for saving our lives. Why are you going to turn that racial and politicized? That's silly, ridiculous. They're nitpicking at that point. It's not like they're saying, "All right, we all love us some blue line flags. We're gonna go out. We're gonna cornhole us a drunk or whatever the hell that they think cops do on a daily basis."
Man, you reminded me of an officer I used to work with.
All right. So anyway, I want to go back to what Source Watcher, what you said. You said something about you are afraid of the thin blue line flag overtaking the real flag. I don't quite know what you're talking about. That I don't really think that that's a danger. Why do you think?
I recently saw a brand new flag that shows the American flag getting pulled down, and then the police flag showing up. So like, that just kind of scares me that they'll like replace that with the police flag.
Oh, that's never gonna happen. First of all, the thin blue line flag is not an actual flag, so I mean, there's no real worries about that. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. There's too many people. You saw how many people went up in arms when people started kneeling, when players started kneeling down for the anthem and all that stuff. There's no way in hell they're gonna allow someone to change the flag. Remember, we as people don't like change in the first place.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. So, what's up, Kimber? Welcome. So yeah, so those are the two stories I want to talk about. Extortion Watchers, you're here. Do you have your tape? Do you have your video?
Yeah.
All right. So right now we're going to take a look at one of Extortion Watchers' videos. If you don't want to comment on that's what we're going to do. We're going to sit up here and we're going to comment on it. Now, if you're not really going to comment on it, then you're more than welcome to step down and let someone else up who would comment on it. Is everyone up here good about what's commenting on this video that he's going to show us?
I'm good.
Jay?
Yeah, I can sign off and let somebody else take my place.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, don't matter. I'm just asking.
All right, people, you have a good evening now. This is Chief Tuttle. Everybody stand by.
You too.
All right,
Take care.
All right, so we're going to be taking a look at one of his videos. We're going to kind of, give him a live perspective of what we think on it, stuff like that. So whenever you're ready to queue it up, Extortion Watchers, go ahead.
Okay, how do I do that? I press share screen?
Yeah, make sure you share the sound too.
Okay, I will. 1 second. Let me get to the video.
I forget, what was this about?
We're looking at one. He's an auditor, and we're going to take a look at his video, and we're going to judge his video. Now, make sure you judge it fairly. If you're going to stay up here and judge, let's not just say mean things. Let's judge it fairly.
All right.
If you're not able to judge it fairly, you're more than welcome to step down. It's fine. But just if you're up here, let's make sure we judge it fairly. Anybody else that would like to come on up and judge it with us? If you have an auditor in the house that would like to, I'm sure there's an auditor or two in here. You're more than welcome to come on up and help us examine and audit.
How do you do this? It says share screen and then... It's not letting me share. 1 second.
If anybody wants to hear some funny, I fell out of a tree today.
There we go.
What's up, Taze?
Hey, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Good.
What?
Is it showing the YouTube?
Yep, there it is.
Okay, it's on YouTube right now?
Yeah, we're good. We got it.
You hear it?
Yeah.
Is there any sound?
You hear it?
No.
No.
You don't hear it? Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. Did you hear it at first?
No.
No?
Hey, Kenny.
Nope.
Hey,
No.
Taze. Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up there, AB?
Hey.
Not much. Kenny's just asking for people, so I thought, fuck, I'll come up. Hang
Yeah,
out.
right on.
You figured you're a people, so you'll come.
Yep,
Can you
that's
hear
right.
I see. Did you fix the
hear
sound?
that?
Hold on, let me bring it back up. All right.
The sound's not working on my end for some reason.
You gotta
Oh.
click the little button that says share sound. Before you share it, like before you share the screen, there's a little like box, check box. You have to click it and
Okay, I
you'll share
see it.
screen. Yeah.
Cool.
Hello, everyone in the chat.
Hello.
Now try. Okay.
AJ Carp, how's it going?
Can you hear it? Can you
No,
hear it?
try it again. Try again.
I don't hear anything.
I'm gonna grab my coffee, Kenny. Hold on.
All right.
Hey, Kenny.
Yeah. Let me try to share. What video is it?
What? Yeah, you could do it on your end. It's the first one, or it's the second one. It's the security one, Homeland Security. For some reason, my audio ain't working on that.
Are you on a laptop?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Extortion. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Share screen.
You know that you have to click that little audio button, right?
Right. Thank you.
I don't have to reiterate that, I know, but I mean, just in case.
All right. Let's see. All right, ready?
Yep.
Coming back.
I can hear that just loud and clear.
Okay, you stepped foot on federal property now.
It's public property.
No, this is federal property.
Yeah,
This is not a
that's
park.
public.
This is not a public
That's
park.
public. It says immigrant court parking.
Yeah,
That's a public parking
immigration,
lot.
which is Department of Homeland Security. So I have Federal Protective Service coming here to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and have a seat over here for me.
I'm not touching. No.
Go ahead and have a seat for me.
Don't touch me. Security guard. Got here. I don't know if the camera can hear you, but he's asking if there's something he can help me with.
You need one of those little wind guards, extortion watchers.
Hey, Kenny.
I think he's on the phone with the police.
Say something, Taze.
Am I still up there? Because I'm showing I'm backstage.
You're up. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to hear you if you're not backstage. Yeah.
Right.
I haven't heard it on this one yet. Hey, you realize what the cops are going to tell you, right? You realize what the cops are going to tell you, right? Sorry? You realize what the cops are going to tell you? What are the cops going to tell you? They're going to tell me it's my legal right to film and I'm on a public sidewalk.
Oh, that's nice.
First of all, Extortion Watchers, where are you exactly right now?
Omaha.
Oh no, I mean in the video. What exactly were you? What was your intention when you first were going out to film this?
Oh, it was like the immigration court. I was just out there taking pictures.
Okay. And then the security guard just came out, and then you started filming.
Yeah, when I started filming, when you saw him walking up at the parking lot, I literally just got out of the Uber car. So he saw my body cam, and he just automatically knew what I was there for.
Okay. Just curious, want to get a little back story on what happened here. All right.
Yeah.
Well, he's calling the cops. We're going to go ahead and do the audit.
Is it private security that works there?
Is it private security, Extortion Watchers?
Yeah, it's just curiosity because if it's a public parking lot, is it private security that looks after the parking and the public interaction? Well,
yeah, it's private security.
Yeah, it's not like a couple of guys that represent them.
No. They do keep the lawn immaculate, though. Check it out. It just got done.
Does look good.
Not a brown spot in sight. Was there a brown spot there, Extortion Watchers? Maybe you can't hear me.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I said I don't think so.
Oh, there's a little spot right there. I see. So now he's following you. You're not on their property anymore. He's not on their property anymore.
Yeah.
You should have taunted him with a little Black Lives Matter. Was he black?
Now at security, I've done security before, and you're not ever supposed to this is what they tell you when you start this. You're supposed to guard this little block here. Once they leave that block, there's really nothing you can do at that point. So if he really is private security,
yeah, he's within his right too. So it's a tactic just to, he's going to watch you, whether he's right behind you or where else he is. He's doing his job, right? But he knows.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
This is a great place. Those are big fences. Look at that.
I know. Look at that.
How you doing?
This is going to turn into the Anselmo video?
I'm going to touch you. Just keep walking. Because you're going to impede me from doing my...
That'd be funny.
Oh, no.
Yep, there you go. Have a good day.
That's what I thought. Have a nice day, sir.
What?
I said have a nice fucking day.
Yeah, you have a nice day too, pal.
I think
That's
you got
passive
educated
aggressive.
today, didn't you? You got educated.
I did.
They can't come out and do anything, and that's what you were told. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, exactly.
You should have said another couple of rounds, and you might wear that tummy down a little
no
bit.
trespassing signs, so you're right to be over here.
It works fine on the Wi-Fi. Yeah, probably. I'm at half. Then leave the front door unlocked, just in case I have to go in.
This is Jay. Can you mute your player? You know while the video's playing, please.
Sorry.
Hey, I recognize
It's a public accessible place. Here we go again. Coming back. Oh, there went the money truck.
Okay, you step foot on federal property now.
It's public property.
No, this is federal property.
Yeah,
This is not
that's
public. This is not a public
That's
parking.
public. It says immigration court parking.
Yeah.
That's a public parking
Immigration,
lot.
which is Department of Homeland Security. So I have
He
federal
made this
protective
fat
service coming
bastard
here to
walk
talk
a
to
little
you.
bit.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and have a seat over here for me.
I'm not touching. No,
Whoa, whoa,
Go ahead and have a
You're not a
seat for
cop,
me.
tough guy.
don't touch me. Don't touch me. Look, it says immigration.
We're not allowed to be filmed.
Visitor entrance.
Yes, that is federal property. See that
It's
sign right
government
there?
property, sir.
No, see that
It's
sign?
government property.
Yes, federal property.
Government property is public property.
No,
There's
it is
public,
not public
There's a
property.
publicly
This
accessible
is owned by
parking
the
lot.
federal government. You are not allowed to film.
Oops. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Hold on. My bad.
Allowed to film walking through. filming
Visitor
customers.
entrance.
Are you a customer?
No, but it makes it public.
No, are you a customer?
It's public.
Why are you walking through filming
Public.
people without their permission? This is
I don't
public.
need their permission. It's the fucking Constitution of the United States of America.
Oh,
sir.
it is. You don't know nothing about it, do you?
Obviously,
Did
you
you
know.
ask? Did you ask their
Freedom
permission?
of the press? Have
Huh?
you heard about that? Freedom of the press?
You're not press. Where's your
Yeah,
press?
I am.
Well, let me see.
I
your
don't need
credentials.
press
Let me
credentials.
see your credentials.
I don't
please.
need press credentials, sir.
Well, you're screaming First Amendment right. Let me see your press.
I don't need press credentials.
Okay.
Who gives them out? Who gives press credentials out?
The people you work for?
Who gives them though? Like, is it the government? You can't tell me a specific
no.
person who gives
See,
them.
if you work for
So
C-
there are no such thing
if
as
you
fucking
work
press.
for CNN, you would get press credentials.
Yeah, that's for. Just shut the fuck up, bro.
Really? You're a tough guy. Don't worry about it. We got FPS coming here. You can talk to Federal Protective Service.
I'm not talking to nobody.
Oh no, they'll talk to you.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna get
It is kind of a funny interaction.
one, guys.
You're both right.
People in the car.
actually did make two mistakes.
Yeah, I know. I already talked to Mega Center several times.
You have to control your emotions a little better, but you're learning.
I do. I realize that.
But it's hard not to. It's hard not to add
No,
those
I
little
just told them
trailers
that's federal
when
property,
you're
and I'm sure the people
talking
don't
to,
appreciate
or,
them
you know,
being
in the moment. I
filmed.
mean,
especially especially customers. So, all right. Sir, if you skate up and down the sidewalk, you can do whatever you want.
You're making a big deal out of something that's not.
Sir, if you stay up and down the sidewalk, you can do whatever you want.
So are they on the way or not?
Why?
I just want to know.
No, just go ahead and continue walk up and down the sidewalk.
Okay.
Just don't step foot on private.
So they're not coming, right?
Have a nice day.
That's what I thought.
Hell, have a nice day. Don't follow me onto the property.
You can't do shit.
he's under no obligation to tell you the truth about anything.
Have a nice day.
That's what I thought. If I'm free to leave, then I'm free to stay.
You can go. I said stay.
Yeah, then I'm free to stay.
You are free to walk up and down
Oh,
the
how
sidewalk.
dare you say that?
These people, I'm sure, do not appreciate you filming.
Oh, I don't care if they appreciate it or not. I have the legal right to.
Okay, continue on with yourself.
Have a nice day.
Oh, now you say it.
And just so you guys know, nobody complained about it.
How do you know that?
Because nobody even asked me why I'm filming or anything. They were just moving along.
Did you ask him if his car was parked in that parking lot?
Did you hear AB?
One more time?
Did you ask him at all if his car was parked in that parking lot?
I didn't.
No. Did you get that sense at all, or was he just like what was directing him? Was he being directed by a higher official?
Yeah, there's another parking lot on the other side of the building that has employees parking. So,
okay,
he's in that parking lot.
So you didn't film the employees parking lot. This is the public side of the parking lot, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go over and film the cars. Over
Did he ever say to you that people have the right to, a little bit of privacy or consideration for others or things like that? Did those words ever cross his lips?
The security guard's lips?
Yes. Yeah. No, it's just.
He didn't, I don't think he said it directly, but in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's still on the phone with them.
I'm gonna go live. Hey guys.
Paul Kemp, these guys do the license plates so that they'll get some reaction. That's the only reason.
Oh, sounds good. Thanks, bye.
You learned anything? Sir? What's your name?
PSO Roth Ansel.
Okay, have you learned anything today?
All right. Kind of at this point, I kind of feel like you're kind of being a dick at this point. You already know that aren't coming. Now you're just trying to get a rise out of him. That's how it looks like to me. Seems like it's kind of like some passive aggressiveness here on your part.
Okay.
But this is what the audience loves. They love that moment. Now he's interviewing him right after that aha moment that so many of these fucking cop watchers and auditors love to exploit on YouTube for money.
Yeah, well, here's why I think I started right here is because this is when I first went live and viewers were coming in, so I just came over and to have a conversation, basically. That's basically
you were trying to. So essentially, that's what you were trying to do. You're essentially trying to, at least you just went live. It was pretty much already done by the time you went live, so you just wanted to. People were
at least talk to them because the cops were on the way. The cops were on the way during this whole time. The cops were on the way.
I understand what you're saying, but don't you think, in my opinion, I think you could have went about it a different way. Now, so did you learn something? Hey, look, Matt, I just wanted you to know this is what this is. Now, did you at least learn something off of this? But you're kind of coming off kind of confrontational now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just because you can do something doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, it gets a little worse. If it doesn't get too much worse than this, it gets a little worse. So
we'll continue to watch. We'll see.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question.
It's okay.
So this is not even about the video, but can you tell me why you picked that name, Extortion Watcher?
Yeah, because government accountability was taken, and that was my original name, Government Accountability.
Do you have any unpaid fines?
One more time?
Do you have any unpaid fines?
Yeah, I have unpaid fines.
I used to look at unpaid fines as these fucking bastards extortion. I get it. What you're saying with it, it's kind of under the breath.
Well, I just think it's very prejudicial going in. It's not center of the road. It's not being fair. It's like you're expecting to find some sort of extortion, and I think that you should be expecting to find just the opposite. So why don't you call yourself something like a Justice Watcher or something like that?
Well, because I'm out trying to find the extortion because extortion is not okay from anything.
I agree, but I believe that extortion is it's not I don't think it's rampant. You might disagree with that, okay? And I don't think it's the norm. I think it's the exception to the rule. It is not the rule. Okay, so I think by having the name extortion watcher, that means you expect every time you go out you're gonna find extortion.
Well, think about
or
Taze, that's a
something
good
negative.
point. Think about for a second how corruption works at the municipal level. The thing that what keeps the system working is the ethics and the honor of the people that work there. Believe me, these people are well versed, and a lot of them, I guess it depends which side of the law you fall on, but it's a highly competitive work environment in any sense that can get another person up when it comes to politics and politicking. You can have whatever opinion you want, but when you're in the mix working in municipal politics, it's not that obvious sometimes. And the last person that's going to point it out is just some dude with a camera that's walking around. That's the only problem in how these things work. Like, you're not going to, I get the joke and it's fine as a joke, but most people take offense to it as a name.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that.
All right, so let's go ahead and continue watching. He says it's just a little bit worse. So the interview is just starting. He's got his live on. That's where we're picking up.
It's like the third time you called him.
Nope. Third different person.
Third different person. Because what the last two people tell you. They told you the same thing I told you. I have a legal right to be here. There's nothing they can fucking do.
You're acting a little suspicious with that black bandana on your head.
Oh, I don't give a fuck what I'm acting like.
Yeah, it does. That's important. Acting suspicious is important.
What articulate suspicion do you have that I'm committing a crime?
You don't have to be committing a crime. If you're suspicious, the activity alone is suspicious. So therefore, I approached you, and that's why I talked to you.
I'm literally just filming. You're freaking out. No, I haven't learned anything.
You learned anything?
I haven't learned anything.
Okay.
So how long are you gonna drag this on?
I ain't dragging nothing on. You're the one. You're the one walked back on property. I'm just standing here.
You're the one who's saying I don't have a legal right to film these people.
You're the one who walked back here. You were walking away, and then you came back. You did it on your own accord. Twice. And so that's suspicious. That's not suspicious behavior?
No.
I'm just asking you. You were talking about freedom of the press. Where's your credentials? I thought.
Where's Beware Mouse when you need him, eh, Taze?
You want to stand in the shade? It's probably a lot cooler.
I'm not saying anywhere.
He would have pulled out
I'll
all
say wherever the fuck
404
I
by
want.
now.
I'd walk up with a camera and then I'd accuse the auditor of giving me a cam back.
It's a lot cooler in the shade than it is in the sun.
I thought you said I wasn't allowed to be on this property that I'm on right now.
Did I say
Now you're telling me I can stand in the shade.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you told it's on camera. You told me I couldn't film out here. It's federal property, and you have the FPS on the way to take care of me. That's what you said.
What I asked you.
That's what you said.
I did notify FPS. But
Okay, well, where are they? You
Yeah,
said they
this
were going
dude
to take
is
care of
really
me. Where are
racking
they?
up the bullshit.
or are you just going to try to talk over me? What I told you was, I'm sure the customers here at this building do not appreciate the fact that you're walking by and filming them.
So what?
Just as much as you wouldn't like it if someone walked up and shoved a camera in your face.
Oh, I'm totally fine with this. The
You
First
are.
Amendment right.
Okay, so then why don't you show your face so we can come to you and do
No,
that
thank
later? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. So your behavior is suspicious. You were walking away, and now all of a sudden you walk back onto property to confront me again.
Guard's got a point.
Yeah, you guys have nothing going
does
on
have a
during the day
point.
to be harassing
Yeah,
us.
that guy, he talked to you right
It has
there
to
on
be a
that one,
boring
but
day.
now you should just walk around with
I
a
was
business
standing
card and
there.
introduce
He
yourself
was walking
first.
away, and then he comes back and confronts
Just say,
me
here,
again.
no problems. Just walk around and film them.
True that.
Okay. Yeah, I already
But
did.
you have to
Already
figure out how to
I
top them.
confronted you, by the way. We'll see about that on the camera.
Yep. That was finishing my patrols. All right, bye.
This is USCIS in Carter Lake. It's well, it would be in Omaha.
I do got to
US,
give it A for
Department
entertainment,
of
though. It was pretty
Homeland
entertaining.
Security,
I'll
right
give him
here.
that.
Let me get a good. It's at 1717 Avenue 8.
Yeah.
He identified
Do
himself.
not
You go
do
back.
not
I'm not
call
going to try
this
and bother
number.
him.
Do not
But I am
call
going to
it.
remain on the property until he takes care of me like he said he was. He said he was going to take care of me for being on federal property. We're going to see about that. He's got to hold himself to it.
Yeah, now you're just being a dick.
I'm running 2 cameras and then a body cam right now.
Are you up the sidewalk now?
There we go.
It must be shift change, is it?
Yep, the walk of shame.
Oh, that's funny. Did he
You
react?
guys gotta walk away sometime, dude.
I forgot I
Yep, they're
said
here.
The
that.
guy's like 200 feet away. Walk of shame.
Guys, get ready to call. I don't know what's gonna happen
Oh, that's brilliant.
Okay, Josh.
Oh, here come the police. Or no, maybe that's Homeland
There they
Security.
All right, get ready, guys.
What's up, boss?
Dude,
Just taking pictures and stuff.
that's all I'm doing.
All right, that's fine. You can do it all you want.
Okay, he said you guys are gonna come out. and
No,
take
we're
care.
not.
And,
It's
yeah.
all you want. I mean,
Okay, and I'm just to confirm, I'm publicly allowed to be in this.
yeah,
I'm telling you, I am. Okay.
I know you are.
Okay.
So you can take pictures, do what you got to do. Just that's
Okay,
it, man.
and literally, I just walked up and he started calling FPS and saying he's calling him. I didn't even get on this property right here. I was just on the sidewalk out there. And
Yeah, that. Well, they just get nervous just because you know they don't. Sometimes they don't know like protocols or what what you're gonna do or what you're here really for. But if you're here to just take pictures or whatever, that's fine.
Okay.
Just stay safe and whatever.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, man.
Can I get your name and badge number just because how professional you
Last
are?
name's Burkeen.
Burkeen?
Badge number is 210.
210.
Yep.
Okay.
Ask
Have a nice
him how to
day.
spell that.
Thank you.
I'm doing the drive of shame.
All right, guys. So, you learned something today. And I'm going to stay here. I'm going to go off live, but I'm going to stay here for a couple more minutes and I'll upload the video for you guys later. Have a good one. He does. If you guys like to call the Department of Homeland Security, if you guys like to call him, Department of Homeland Security Police, and let him know what a good job he did, you're more than welcome to. I'll post the number in the description when I get home. But he's educating him right now.
Now's the time
I'm
to
gonna
yell
give him
something
his
at him
space
with his
because
buddies
the
right
cops
there.
can
Did you hear it?
educate him. No. So, yep, that's the story.
All right.
No, it's not. It's not a story. It's just a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, so I'll start. First of all, you really need to get one of those little furry wind guards for your phone.
Need a what?
Because that wind is crazy. You gotta get one of those little, those little furry, like they look like little hamsters, little furry.
Oh
wind
no,
guards.
that was a really, really windy day. That was a bad day to audit. I don't know why I picked that day. I didn't realize it was that windy out.
It was pretty bad out there.
Oh, heck yeah.
start out with, I don't understand this with COVID going around right now. We already know places like this are not going to have normal public. There's not going to be a whole lot of people there, so you're going to stick out even more like a sore thumb just going film. So, and to the way I look at it, you already know that you're going to stick out, not only because you're filming, but just because there's no one else around. They don't see anyone else. All of a sudden, you're out and you're filming. You're going around filming a license plate, like you have every right to film the license plates. But come on, that looks creepy. That looks suspicious. Being suspicious, of course, again, is not against the law or anything.
Hey,
True.
Kenny, Texas versus Brown. Suspicion can't be used as suspicion within itself. I mean, it can't be used as a form of suspicion.
No. I understand that, but I mean,
wait a minute. Texas versus Brown, was that a Supreme Court, or what was that?
I believe it was Supreme Court.
U.S. Supreme Court, not the Texas Supreme Court.
No, wait, 1 second. 1 second. You're right. I don't know. 1 second. All I know is Texas versus Brown is you can't use suspicion within itself to be a form of suspicion.
Okay.
I don't think that covers the whole country.
But also, it's not against the law for him to go find out what you're doing. I mean, you're going out there filming license plates. That is odd behavior. There are many instances where people use legal reasonings to do illegal stuff. So I think it's fair and within reason for them to find out what exactly you're doing out there. Now, the interaction started out okay. He told you to leave, you started getting a little upset, obviously. And by the time you guys are going back and forth with the arguing, you were already agitated, right? And then you just kind of let the agitation go. Then when you went live, after he'd already been, you knew he'd already been told that, hey, just leave him alone. We're going to send someone out to just don't. He probably got told not to engage you. I'm sure that's exactly what he got told, not to engage you. Yet you felt the need to keep trying to engage him, right? Now, I understand you did it because, you went live and all that, but still, I mean, he'd already knew you were getting upset. There was no reason for you to get upset. You'd already won the day at that point. You knew the cops were going to show up and tell you exactly what the cops showed you. And even when it was Homeland Security that showed up, right?
Yeah, it was the feds that showed up, and they were pretty nice. They were pretty nice.
Usually the Homeland Security officers are really cool. They usually don't trip off of too much. But when he showed up, from the first question, I can film here, right? You demanded, you were already in attack mode with him as well. He de-escalated the situation. The Homeland Security officer, you said, I can film out here, right? I just want to let you. He was like, yeah, dude, you're good. And that's when you calm down a little bit. You already went at him kind of aggressive. It's like, there's no reason. He just showed up. He didn't know what was going on. But you immediately went into aggressive mode with him because you were already in aggressive mode with the security officer. Now, the security officer, to his, he was aggressive with you as well. But then again, he was aggressive with you because you were being aggressive to him.
But Kenny,
so it kind of like, go ahead. Sorry.
I see what you're saying. I'm sorry. But I just wanted to say, here's the deal. A security guard cannot detain you unless they have reasonable suspicion of a crime that occurred, such as shoplifting. They cannot detain you for simple policy violations or anything like that. And when he told me to have a seat on the curb, I think that's a form of detainment. Wouldn't you agree?
Well,
only if you ordered you to. I mean, I can offer somebody a seat. Somebody comes into my house and I go, have a seat. I'm not ordering to have a seat.
I think that just shows that you weren't happy and you weren't happy in the situation. You just didn't want to do anything he wanted you to do. He was just saying, hey, someone's coming, have a seat. I mean, of course, he said it not very nicely like that, but he wasn't trying to tell you what to do. Obviously, he didn't. When you said, no, I'm not going to sit down, that was the end of that, right?
Yeah.
So then, is he really trying to detain you then?
Well, I mean,
you're trying to split hairs almost. Sorry to interrupt. You're trying to split hairs on he's giving you basically a line and to try to, make an overall judgment of the situation. Imagine all the different tweakers and crackheads that he potentially has to deal with. A lot of those people do follow his orders because they're not in their right minds. So having a seat is just, if you're on your side trying to understand, each word and put reason behind it, you can get yourself off track when it really wasn't a whole lot of thought behind it in the first place. He's just trying to rough you up a little bit.
I just didn't see it as an order. Hey, Kenny, I got to go because I'm sitting out here in this parking lot waiting to go into the store, and they're looking at me like, why is this guy sitting out here? So let me say something real quick before I go, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, that was not the worst audit I've seen. It was okay. I mean, I would give it I think I'd grade it a C, maybe a C plus. Listen, I don't know how long you've been auditing, and I've been watching this stuff for a long time. And why do all the auditors have to use the same tired, worn out phrases? Comeback and walk of shame, and it's like somebody says something, an auditor says something that's kind of catchy, and then next thing you know, everybody uses it. Everybody uses kick rocks. What else? I already said the walk of shame and whatever. Everybody's got to use the same phrases. It's no big deal.
I can go, then I can stay.
I mean, if somebody would just make something up just fresh, man, and then everybody else would pick it up, and then you'd at least have that as a claim to fame. Hey, I'm the first one to use this phrase or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think Johnny 5-0 made up a lot of this stuff. Everybody started copying him.
Or what you could do, I got an idea. What you can do is whenever a cop goes and talk to you, just say, I like cake. You know how people are using, like, Furry does the whole, make something different. It's like, I like cake. You can be like just I like cake. It's your question. I like cake. What are you doing out here? I like cake. But then again, if you're in California, you might end up getting a psychiatric hold or something. So be careful.
I've always wanted to run into an auditor and then walk up with my camera going and go, and then claim that the auditor is giving me a cam back. I always thought that'd be funny. Yeah. Another thing is when they ask for certain things, and then they go, well, that's your department policy. You must give me your badge number. That's your policy. Just one time, I want the cop to turn and go, policy isn't law. Just once.
All right. Well, thanks, Taze.
All right, man.
All right. So
bye,
what was that? Your live started, and then you go to the interview. At that point, it was already said and done. The Homeland Security was on his way. Like you said, you were doing it for the live audience to just come on, give them something for the interview and all that. And then at the end, you did the walk of shame. And I mean, he was already walking away. Then he starts going towards a building. And you're all walking. I
forgot
I see that as that was kind of like there was no point in that. Also, I didn't really feel a need for the filming of the license plates. That in itself is suspicious. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. You can do it, but it still looks creepy as fuck. All right, so that's my
he was on to me before I was even filming the license plate. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, of course. But yeah, that was suspicious.
Okay, fair enough. Then that means if he was on you before that, then would it be safe to say you started filming license plates as a form of payback to him for walking up to you in the first place? How dare he, sort of thing?
No, I was probably going to do it anyways, whether he was there or not. Because
so then your original point of he did it before you started filming license plates is kind of moot, then, right? If you're
I'm just saying the outcome would have always remained the same whether I film the license plates or not.
Okay, then there was your argument of he was filming you before. It's kind of like, again, it's like semantics. It's like, okay, so he was, but you would have done it anyway. So it kind of erases your argument just a minute ago.
I guess. I mean,
there's no guess about it. There is. I mean, if you're going to do it anyway.
Here's the deal, Kenny. Okay, so He wasn't worried about that though. What he was worried about was the fact that I was in the parking lot and I stepped foot on federal property. He said it in those exact words. I stepped foot on federal property. So just the fact of me being on there, on that property, that's what got his attention in the first place.
All right. So Carl, what do you think?
Well, I think that a security guard was a little too overzealous in that performance of his duty.
Okay. Well, what do you think? How did you think Extortion Waters handled himself during this audit?
Well, he did pretty good. And by the way, I happened to be sleeping in one of those trees and I had a hangover. So thank you for waking me up.
All right. Extortion Watchers, after watching it again, how would you grade yourself on that?
I'd rate myself probably a 7 or an 8. I would.
What do you think could have been improved upon on your own?
That's a tough one. First off, my demeanor. I was a little aggressive. I got a little aggressive whenever he started talking and stuff like that. I think, I need to calm down a little bit. I need to. I think next time I'm just going to sit back and assess the situation a little bit more. And, talk less and just try not to, get a bad interaction with them,
Gotcha.
I have a few questions.
I'll get around to you, and then you'll be after AB, okay? All right. So, Mrs. J, go ahead. What do you think? How do you do?
You had to say it, didn't you? You had to say, well, if I can go, then I can stay. You sound like fucking Josh. I mean, please don't follow Josh. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, and you fucked up. I mean,
I don't watch Josh.
well, yeah, certainly sound just like him. You used all the catchphrases. Josh,
Well, to be fair, Josh
and,
isn't the only one that uses those.
Oh yeah, all of them do. All of them do. All the bad ones do. I mean, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he went there. He went there. And then the fact that he did get angry with them. An auditor should go and watch and try not to participate. But if the man is going to come up to you, and even if he says the wrong thing, inform him he was wrong, then walk away. Don't keep pushing the issue unless you want the confrontation with the cops. So plain and simple, either you're going there to agitate or you're going there to audit.
All right, real quick. Bob Hernandez says he just read Texas versus Brown. The Supreme Court overturned the state decision that a police cannot use reasonable suspicion. Just so everyone's clear, was overturned. Okay, just go ahead, Ms. J. I just want to point that out.
Oh no, I'm done.
Okay. What about you, AB?
Don't film people's license plates. And it's okay to be confrontational. Just pick your battles. If you know that you're right, you make choices in the moment, and sometimes you're not always right. But I mean, don't film people's license plates like that. That's all. Mm-hmm. I give it about an 8, though, because from an outsider's perspective looking in, it was entertaining. It was an entertaining interaction. Well, it's during a pandemic, so I can't really endorse the entire thing, but yeah, that's all really I have to say about it. It was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, thank you.
Diver, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, what type of facility was that?
The government facility.
specifically?
Oh, it was the Department of Homeland Security or Department of Homeland Immigration courts.
Oh, so it was courthouse.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was in the court parking area.
All right. The type of building and what is in it can delineate what type of time, place, and manner restrictions will be placed on it. And they can, especially a courthouse. The case that I quoted earlier, U.S. versus Grace, was where they set up the fact that before that case, the site of the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., would not allow you to hand out pamphlets or literature or video or record even on their perimeter sidewalks. They determined that that regulation was unconstitutional. On their interior properties, it was correct. On the perimeter sidewalks, it was unconstitutional. By staying on the perimeter sidewalks that face a street, that's a traditional public forum, you're fine. The moment you step on their property, it becomes either a gray area or, especially if it's a courthouse, they can tell you to leave and legally trespass you. I take it you're aware of the DHS memo?
You can't. Yeah, of course, but I mean, they could trespass you like if you committed a crime.
Absolutely not. They can trespass you because they like what you look like. They can trespass you because they don't care for you. Doesn't
They will
matter.
trespass you.
They are in. Yeah, well, you better pay attention. They are in control of their property. They're not in control of a public sidewalk, unless, of course, they declare a riot. Doesn't matter whether you commit a crime or not. A property owner, including the government, has control of property under their care. That's already gone to court on several cases. People hear that, and it's an urban myth. Just because you're in a public space, that doesn't protect you. There are time, place, and manner restrictions that can be placed upon you on all government property at all levels. People got to get that through their heads, or they're going to end up with a hell of a rap sheet, as some people here have already found out. Just because the government owns it doesn't mean you have the right to be there.
Right. Okay. Now, my question is why did you choose? All right. Now, anyone that has a question, anyone on the panel has a question, we're going to go ahead and give everyone a chance to ask any kind of questions. And anybody in the chat that would like to ask a question, go ahead. My first question would be, what made you choose that location?
Oh, I just figured it was going to be a cool location. I mean, I just wanted to. I just Googled it and I looked exactly where I was going to be. Where I was going to go. I all planned my whole thing out, and then I went and did the audit.
Okay. Fair enough.
It wasn't like I had anything against them there.
No, right. I think you would have. Department of Immigration, I couldn't imagine. You're not an illegal immigrant or anything, are you?
No, and I wasn't planning to, and I wasn't planning on going inside either the whole time. So,
right. Yeah. Okay. I guess I just can't get behind audits of these type of places in COVID era because of just the fact that they're not really having a whole lot of public access at this time. Now, police station, I still don't see a point in those in this time either because not a lot of people are allowed in the lobby either. But cop watching, hey, I still get that. But just I don't know. Just I just don't see a point in it with the fact that you're not able to go in and get normal services due to COVID. It kind of, to me, I think it kind of puts pressure on you as an auditor to make it entertaining for your audience because you can't get the normal a normal audit in due to COVID. You know what I mean?
Considering the current
Yeah.
social environment, do you think extortion watchers that you could mold into covering protests and things like that,
That'll
or
be interesting.
or altering a little bit to include?
Well, I've been doing some protests. I got a lot of footage from my protests, but the problem is YouTube won't the algorithm won't take the protest stuff. They really lower the views on those, so there's no point in posting them.
Yeah, are you aware of the Ninth Circuit ruling about press and protesting?
No, I ain't worried about that. What is that?
Well, it's only effective on the West Coast because it is the Ninth Circuit, but they ruled that police don't have to pull their punches with journalists.
Really?
It was in the news last week, all over the news, in fact.
Yeah.
The other thing that you could have said to him, and I'm surprised you didn't, especially in this day and age with the pandemic, is he was improperly wearing his mask the entire time.
I know. I was surprised I didn't see nothing about that either. I didn't realize until the comments, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, his mask." But I wasn't. I mean, I was wearing a mask, but it wasn't like a COVID mask.
It doesn't, well, depending on your state regulations or governor's edicts, as it were, you don't necessarily have to. And the way it reads in New Jersey is I only have to wear it in public if I cannot maintain 6-foot integrity. And of course, they've already proven that even with a mask, the 6-foot integrity isn't valid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought about auditing the FBI.
That'll be an interesting audit.
Oh, my brother would love that.
All right. So, is there any other questions from anyone on the panel, and any questions from anybody out in viewerland?
I have a question, one that I forgot. Why do y'all have to video license plates? What does that have to do with auditing anything?
I get that question all the time. Well, there's no purpose in filming license plates other than why I like to film license plate. I like to know who's there. If something happens to me, that way I can get witnesses together for me for court. Stuff like that.
The trick to doing it is don't make it obvious that you're doing it. Just kind of pan slowly through the car. Don't stop and make it look like you're focusing on the plate.
Is it under crime to secretly film something like that?
No, not at all. If you can see it from a location that you're legally allowed to be, you can video it with, again, limitations as far as you're not going to videotape or you're not going to record inside somebody's house just because the drapes are open.
But I just don't get it. You see people's license plate every day on the streets. Like, what's the difference?
It's because they don't know what you are going to use that particular information for, and they don't want to facilitate any further crimes potentially and be liable.
Have any of you looked at the DHS publications that are out there about public photography?
Well, I haven't looked into it, honestly. I haven't. I just go off of whatever I read, whatever I find on the internet.
All right, so Comfort Doll had a question. She wants to know, how is this what you're doing is supposed to be protecting anyone's rights?
Who? What was the question?
How is anything that you're doing in this audit protecting anyone's rights?
Oh, It really is. It is protect people's rights. I mean, like, very slowly. It's not like overnight, but there used to be auditors getting arrested like 3 times a week. When I first started that July, like 3 times a week, an auditor would get arrested. Now we're lucky to have an auditor arrested once a month. So.
But how was that specifically? What rights were you protecting?
Our rights to film in public, and it's okay to be. They can't use, and the fact that they can't use suspicion within form of suspicion, that was also part of the audits. Like it's Texas versus Brown. I understand it was only ruled in one place, but if it's ruled in that place, and I try it, there's a chance I can get it ruled here. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see what you're saying, but it doesn't really qualify because the actual law enforcement officer never said anything about what you were doing, right? It was just a security officer. So the security officer can't, I mean, he wasn't really violating your rights either.
He was doing his
You know what I mean?
job.
Yeah, he didn't violate your rights. So you weren't really protecting the rights of what you're talking about, the suspicion, because the law enforcement officer himself, when he showed up, it's cool. He's like, oh, you're good, you're just filming, okay, you're good. You talked for what, 1-2 minutes maybe, he left, everything was all good. The whole beef you have is with the security officer, and the rights that are protected are more geared towards law enforcement. Law enforcement itself had no issue with what you were doing. It was a security officer. So therefore, I don't really think you were protecting any rights, at least as far as that goes. Well, not really, because the officer was really cool. It's cordial.
Maybe when COVID is over, you'll see a lot more arrests.
Well, Kenny, what do you rate the audit?
Oh, geez. I'll give it a 7 because, again, I just didn't see the point in it from the beginning with, the place you chose, the filming of the license plates, and then the aggressiveness at first didn't bother me, but it's when you went live and then you went to talk to him, it's like, okay, this is more frauditor-like behavior. If that would have been left out, if that would have been left out, I would have rated it higher. But the simple fact that you went and did the frauditard shit, it was like, okay, dude, that brings it down a little bit, in my opinion. And then, of course, at the end, the walk of shame, which was, again, just not needed at all.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so Cover Dog gave it a 2. What about you guys in chat? What do you guys give it? 1 to 10. Now we'll go through everyone. Carl, what would you rate it? 1 to 10.
Well, given the fact that he woke me up, a 2.
Okay. Mr. J.
I'll give it a 6. I give him
None.
hope that this changes him a little and he corrects a few of the mistakes.
Okay.
No.
Diver,
No.
what would you give it?
Yeah, I don't do ratings. I just basically tell people what the laws are, what they are required to do, where their borders are. And if they choose to step over those borders, that's a personal choice, and they just need to be prepared for the consequences.
Okay, fair enough.
There was nothing personal.
All right. So Bruce gives it a 2. Pat gives it a 5 or less. Greg gives it a 5. Paul can say it was a good audit and he did educate the security officer, but the back and forth argument brought my vote to a 6. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think we all knew when the security officer said you need a press pass, that's just stupid. We all know that's not true. That whole argument I thought was just stupid on the security officer's part. But yeah, so a 6. 2, Agent Cart gave it a 2. 4 for the drive of shame. I don't just audit the auditor's performance because it's just that, a performance. Okay. All right, so There we go. Dude, we gotta do that again. Maybe take some of the stuff we said, do another audit, and then we could come back and see if you got, see what you do.
Yeah.
Or do you have another audit you would like us to take a look at since we're here?
Yeah, I got one more.
Okay, let's take a look at another one. Hold on,
Yeah,
let me bring up
you guys might have a problem with this one too, but I want to show it to you guys just for sake of
What's the sake? All right, cool. All right, hold on, let me find your channel again. All right, what video?
It's called Military Base.
Public easement fusion assaulted. That one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're with Omaha Cop Block, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's interesting. All right. He has his own little style.
Yeah, for those of you that have noticed, the two URLs I've posted, both in the private chat and in the YouTube chat, those are documents DHS puts out publicly, and they're the reason why local police come up to you while you're doing your recording.
Yeah.
That's their justification for investigating you.
Thanks for letting me know.
All right, ready?
Yeah. This one's unique.
Laser. Okay, we got a medicine on it? Yep. I can get the numbers down. License plate. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Cool. Oh, who said that? What are you guys doing? Oh, it's them over there.
Don't worry about it. They engaged us. I feel like anybody that engages us automatically goes on camera. Because mind your own business. They're going to be the ones that call police stuff.
Yeah, they're going to be the police callers today.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bootlickers.
Pretty much. Shouldn't have bothered me.
You guys are paying the consequence.
All right, so first of all, someone bothered you guys, and now you're just filming them. So it can be safe to say that this is complete retaliation on your guys' part, correct? Can you hear me? Is there any sound?
I do.
Can you hear me? I guess he's away from the kid.
Oh, you there? Oh, sorry, I was muted. But yeah, I was saying, we were just filming them, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna turn around, and then they're gonna send their buddy up and to talk to us, and then we're not gonna bother them. We're gonna try and just not talk to them after this. So yeah, we did film them, but at the same time, they tried to come see what we were doing when we were filming the
okay, I understand that, but what right does that give you to retaliate? I mean, just keep filming and retaliate. You're basically turning your camera into a weapon at this point with retaliation.
Is that retaliation?
Well, it was just said by yourself and Omaha Cop Block, well, they shouldn't have came up to us. That's a retaliative kind of statement. And now you're filming them. So to me, it seems like it would be retaliation.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not nothing personal, though. It's not like nothing personal.
No, I didn't say it was something personal, but I'm just saying that it's retaliation. You guys, my point is, what are auditors always saying what cops do? They retaliate against them. Yet you guys are retaliating against the public, not just police officers. See what I'm saying? It's kind of like you're what's good for the goose is good for the gander sort of thing.
Of course, yeah.
But anyway, back to the audit. I just wanted to point that out. That's
I got it all perfectly on video. perfect deal.
Behind you.
Yep.
You gonna cut a shot across the room? Cause I ain't gonna be able to hear you, man.
I don't know what they're doing. Oh, she's on the phone with the cops, it looks like.
She is?
Well, she has her hand on her ear. Yeah, she has her hand on her ear. Looks like she's on the phone with the police. Yep, I got her perfect. Yep, she's calling the cops, guys. Yeah. License plate number 29. One second. 29S498. They probably have cameras on it somewhere. That's probably why they're not coming out.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this is the part you're talking about. Now was that their personal house that you were filming them in front of?
This is one of the
base
people they employ. This is one of the people they employ.
No, I mean before the people you were sitting, they were kind of like sitting down. You like seemed like you. How long were you filming them before this guy showed up? Would you say?
Oh, there's probably like 5 minutes. Probably like
really?
5 minutes. It wasn't long. It wasn't long.
Fair enough. All right.
What's our plate number?
Yep, I got it.
Are you filming the house or them? I mean, I don't have anything to do with whatever's going on there, so. All right, well, I've been told to just wait here until the cops are
You wait there until the cops show up.
I guess so.
Oh, it's interrogated.
Yeah, that's
Where are you going?
well,
I thought you were waiting for the cops.
I probably is. I was trying to see
Heartland.
I'm gonna pause this real quick.
Container Services 402-788-1444. Hey, guess what their truck says?
Yeah.
Prompt, professional customer service, call a day. So let's make sure they hold up to that customer service today while they're out here.
Yeah, you're right. Let's make sure about that.
Yeah.
Oh, now y'all want to come.
Why is he
Now
doing
y'all want to come when I leave.
Yep, upstairs.
Keep silent.
Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going? Don't want to talk? All right. Well, you shouldn't be out on the highway here. You're going to have to get off to the side of the road for me, okay? Got any ID?
What's your name and badge number?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't get back behind me.
What's your name and badge number?
Step back over there. Back over there. What are you guys out here doing? Just filming? That's perfectly fine, but stay off the highway, all right? Party wants to provide the ID. You got an ID on you, either one of you? You have an ID.
Are you laughing?
You guys have ID, that's all I'm asking. No, you don't want to provide ID? Off the highway, okay? Do not get on the highway again. Step off to the side of the road. He can do what he wants. How about you calm down? Step back off the road.
I don't
right?
have to.
Yes,
I don't
you
have
do.
to follow your fucking orders.
Yes,
Hey,
you
calm
have
down.
to listen to us about being on this road. Yes, you do.
There's no
Oh,
sidewalk,
you
sir.
rude little
I know you're not supposed to
motherfucker.
be out on the highway. It's not meant to be walking on to film people, all right?
Are you going to educate them that I have the legal right to film?
You can film, but you're not going to stand on somebody else's property. Do you hear that?
That's a lie, sir.
Oh, no, it's not a lie. They
I
can
don't answer your
use entry onto their property.
Well, that's fine, but it's a public sidewalk. This is public easement, actually.
Stay off the highway.
Get out of my
What's
face.
funny?
Number one, I'm not in your face. You're going to stay off the highway, all
You're
right?
going to get out of my face.
No, no.
You guys risk the lives of a lot of people on the highway just to get here for some people with cameras.
No, we got here because people are worried about you walking on the highway. How's that sound?
I can
Stay off the
Oh, that's
road.
bullshit.
All right.
You don't like
to provide the ID.
I give them permission to smack this little motherfucker.
Huh?
And they just said something about taking the phone.
Didn't want to answer his questions, sneaking up on him from behind, and then you wonder why you've got someone coming with lights and sirens.
I say, shoot him. Shoot
Come
him.
to Louisiana and do that.
Follow him to a dark alley.
What's your names and badge numbers? What's your names and badge numbers?
Step back.
Step back.
Step back.
What's your name and badge
Step
number?
back.
Don't
Step
touch
back.
me. Don't
Do
touch
not
me.
even.
Step back.
What's your name and badge number?
Step
Don't
back.
touch me.
Don't
Don't
even
you
flinch.
fucking
Don't
touch me.
even come
Don't you
close
fucking
to
back
me.
up.
No, he just assaulted me.
Back
You
up.
just
Stay back.
fucking
I just
where's
gave
your
you an order to
supervisor?
stay back.
That
Where's your
ain't assault.
supervisor?
You want to see assault?
Where's
Good
your
luck.
supervisor?
Step back.
Where's
Step
the
back.
supervisor? Get your
You need to stay
supervisor out.
back.
No, you get a
Calm down,
supervisor.
calm down.
Nobody's getting a supervisor. You stay back.
I am
away
getting the
from us.
supervisor.
No, you're not.
Get your supervisor.
Hey, we'll just
Stay back. Get your supervisor.
let's go to the station and talk to him. Yep. Get his plate numbers. 37830, 37882. You guys failed miserably. You guys failed miserably. We are getting your identifying information, sir.
37830. Now back up. That is an order. That's all I'm wrong.
Okay, what's your badge number?
That's my last one.
We don't listen to orders.
Follow him.
We don't listen to fucking orders.
Yeah, you
Calm
do.
down.
No, we do
Calm down.
not.
Calm down, dude. Stop. Calm down. Nice try. Yes. Not, sir. Your lawfuls are lawful. Go in your car. Stop being a little pussy. Go in your car.
De-escalate.
That's what you should be doing. Go.
Come on,
De-escalate
de-escalate.
with a
You can't
baton
go.
to your brain.
What brain?
Sorry.
Let's go. I'm gonna stay here till this cop takes off. And we can be on.
Speaking of pussies, have hoods over your head so you can't see your face.
Dude, that was
Pussy.
crazy.
They're still here, Mom.
Yeah, so they can't do us with facial recognition.
Huh?
Yeah, because you're a pussy.
It's nothing to do with you trying to alarm people.
Okay.
Alarm people so that you have a cop driving down the road endangering everyone's lives with lights and sirens because you won't answer questions. Is that what exactly are you, whose rights are you, what are you,
Well,
what are you trying to accomplish?
we have the right to remain silent, and that, I mean, that shouldn't be a crime within itself. It shouldn't be known as a starter for anything, because that's a right that we have, and it shouldn't be taken personally by any police officer. So if you want to remain silent, it shouldn't be taken personally. It should be just a right that you have. If you want to remain silent, you have that right.
Well, if you want to remain silent, why do you have to go off on them like you're, well, you work for me and all that other bullshit that y'all always say. And we don't have to. We don't have to. We don't have to. Yeah, okay. Well, they don't have to help your sorry ass when you need it either. And that's the fact.
Well,
True.
I mean, we could go all day on this, but I'm just saying, I mean,
I'm
you have
still
that right.
confused about what were you trying to do? Like you put everyone's life in danger. Who exactly are you trying to protect, or what exactly does that accomplish?
Whose life did I put in danger?
Well, you put everybody on the road in danger when the cop had to come over with lights and sirens because you wouldn't answer his question.
That's the cop that put himself in danger because he got triggered by me not answering
Okay, well,
questions.
I don't see it that way, and neither does the majority of human beings out there that you put in danger, sir. So you can
True.
say that all you want, but that doesn't make it true.
Well, I didn't run lights and sirens down the street, is what I'm saying.
No, you didn't
run-
answer the questions. You didn't answer the questions,
But
and you had someone sneaking up on the back of the guy.
So because I used my Fifth Amendment right,
You
I
did
was well reasoned.
activities that got the police called out there to begin with.
Face masks on the side of the road.
Well, hold on,
Yeah,
guys. One
Shouldn't
at a
be in the
time.
middle of the summer.
Guys. One at a time. We can't understand what both of you guys say sometimes. So, Teresa, you first, then we'll go with Mrs. J.
Well, I'm just saying that face masks on the side of the road, two individuals who won't follow directions and keep walking up behind a police officer with masks on. They don't know who you are, won't answer the questions, and that's not supposed to be alarming.
It could be alarming, but it's not. I mean, it could be alarming, but it's not like illegal. Like there's no anti-mask law here, so we can have masks. The whole point of the mask was not to scare anybody. The whole point of the mask was to avoid facial recognition on the body cams, because there's these new body cams that are coming out that have facial recognition. We just don't want to be on there. So
Why not just wear a small face mask? Why are you wearing a ski mask like you're robbing a bank?
Because we want to hide our eyes and everything. Because
I didn't see you hiding your eyes. I know that you're going to give me that, but facial recognition, as long as you cover your mouth, you're accomplishing the same thing as a ski mask. So I'm curious, why in the middle of COVID wouldn't you just wear a face mask if you didn't want to alarm people?
I don't know about if it would show up on facial recognition or not with that face mask. But all I know is that back then, all I had was a ski mask. I didn't have a face mask. I don't even own one to this day.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that.
Call the officer a pussy for not giving his name and number. Yet you're gonna wear these full face masks so you can't be recognized. I
didn't call him
being a pussy.
That was a cop block. I didn't call him pussy.
Somebody did.
It's probably Floyd.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Well, whatever. Wearing of a full face mask is being a pussy. It's just all there is to it. I mean, if you're gonna do something and you claim you're doing it for First Amendment rights and you're claiming you're doing it for your rights and then hiding your identity totally, and it's all bullshit. It's just bullshit. You're not protecting anybody's rights. It's just causing more problems. You're not going to solve anything by doing it this way. You want to do it the right way, do it the way they're trying to do it, some of the good ones, by going to town council meetings, by going to different, I don't know what you call them, where they talk about rights and stuff. Not by doing stupid, dumb acts of shit like this.
Second.
Yep. Welcome, Paul Kent.
Thank you. So one of the things that kind of bothered me, just the reason I hopped up when you said that he doesn't have to help your ass, I don't agree with that. He actually does have to help your ass because he's a public servant. He will help you. It's a matter of the interaction and how the transparency part. Like as an example, we have an auditor here in the Illinois area where I live that he was pulled over, license was suspended, and he couldn't drive. However, the officers could have let him call somebody to come out and pick up his car and drive it back to his residence. However, they didn't do that as a courtesy. So, I mean, it's basically you get what you give. And I mean, in watching this, I kind of, I caught the majority of this interaction. And honestly, I understand signing on the side of the road, but their interaction with you is, okay, why are you sitting on the side of the road? What happens if a car which is going 55, 65 miles an hour ends up striking you? Of course, they're going to interact and find out why you're on the side of the highway recording. It's the same thing with Josh. When he was basically ticketed for being and stopping on the interstate, which I think actually was a BS charge because he wasn't driving. But still, it's they are required to stop and say, hey, are you guys okay?
But you guys got to realize, it's not like I'm going over spreading false information and then, getting like $10,000 a month off of this. It's not like that.
No,
What difference does it make how much money you're making off of it? You're putting everyone in danger.
Not at all. And the thing is, I agree with what auditors do 110%. I've had my share of being pulled over and unreasonably searched for no reason. I had an officer pull me over who saw a paperclip open on the floorboard of my car. And because those are used for hitter pipes, they asked for consent to search my vehicle. I could have said, well, no. But I knew what he was going to do. He was going to call for a canine officer, which would have extended things out. So I simply said, sure, why not? And at the end of it, he said, you know what? He explained to me what the situation was, why he pulled me out and why he had me look at it, asked me if I had if I knew what it was about. And I said, I had no clue. And I was on my merry way within 5 minutes. It was a very simple stop. Now I could have extended it where it was 30 minutes, but that was my right. But,
let's say I consent and then there's like something I didn't know about that maybe a friend left in there or maybe a past owner and then you get charged with it,
Right. But again, I mean, that's something you can fight for at trial. I mean, I have no problem at all fighting for trial. Right. I did consent. However, with me giving that consent is better than saying, no, you can't. And a canine officer coming over and falsely triggering on my vehicle. And now they found something. Because now in a court of law, I can stand up and say, I gave my consent. I had no idea it was there. I do have people that I transport back and forth, friends that ride with me. It was not anywhere near where I sit. So I was outside of my reach. But yeah, I mean, possession is 9/10 of the law, but it's that 1/10. And that's the thing. It's you have to roll those dice. But again, it also goes back to your background. Are you an upstanding citizen? Are you a person that has, constant interactions with the police department in a negative manner? In a court of law, if I walk in because all mine have been positive, I'm going to walk away with the reasonable doubt. Whereas somebody with a history with antagonizing officers and things of that nature is not going to walk away from that with a reasonable doubt. They're going to say, oh yeah, this guy antagonizes cops. It's probably his.
All right. So, first of all, I want to start out with, which I'm pretty sure was on everyone's mind. You were filming a private residence from pretty much across the street, right? There was a fence, and then those two people sat down you were on public, I get that. But it was still a private residence. They were just sitting down at the house. They saw you filming an installation, I'm assuming, and they said, hey, why are you filming that installation? Because again, while it's perfectly legal, it's a bit odd.
And that was my whole argument about Audit, is that I was on public easement that whole time. And just me being on public easement that whole time means they came on the side of the road, they assaulted me, and then they took off.
Okay, and then you never showed that they assaulted you.
Yeah, I got assaulted when they told us get back. He pushed me back. So
that's talking about the police officer.
Compliance orders.
No, I'm talking about the two individuals at the beginning.
Oh yeah, yeah, they engaged us. So I mean, at the time that was like clear back in May, but at the time, I just started filming them.
Okay, so all right, here's the thing.
I'm not saying
one
whether
thing I
it's
have,
right or wrong.
one thing I have noticed with these group audits that people tend to do, the people in the audit usually seem to feel there's more bravado in them when they perform their audits. They don't normally act the way they normally act, like Patty when he was with Josh. When Patty was with Josh, Patty started turning into Josh while he was with him there. And as you notice, since he's been back from filming with Josh, he's picked up some tendencies from Josh as well. So
It's called the chameleon effect.
Exactly. I've noticed that with a lot of these group audits. And to me, it seemed like you were definitely using some of the tactics that an Omaha cop block would use in some of his things. In fact, I found it quite funny. The Omaha cop block is the one that had to de-escalate that situation, calming you down. That's saying something. When Omaha cop block has to calm you down, you really should take a look at maybe how you're acting in that situation.
Well, he just said he didn't want me for disorderly conduct. Yeah. I mean, I don't really agree with disorderly conduct in any way, but that law.
Now,
yeah, well, that's 9/10 of officer discretion is.
Do you don't believe that other people around you could be disturbed by your conduct?
No, there was nobody around me other than the two people down there, and then
No, that's not what I asked you. You said you don't necessarily believe in disorderly conduct, a charge for being disorderly in public, right? You don't believe in that. You don't believe that the people around you have a right not to be disturbed?
Well, I mean, if there's no victim, there's no crime. But I mean, yeah, if somebody actually is disturbed, then yeah, I agree with it.
So just those people that were driving by seeing some freaks out there on the side of the road wearing ski masks in the middle of the summer filming a military installation, they don't have any right to be disturbed, or they do?
There's no crime.
How do they know that? They're not lawyers or they're not cops. They're just people that are driving by disturbed.
What is your dream audit? If I were to redo that whole scenario, what would you guys say I would redo then?
I'm not answering your questions. I asked you what your purpose was, what you're trying to accomplish, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I'm trying to accomplish my rights and just make sure we have them.
Here's the thing, that wasn't really an audit. That was you guys started filming out the base. Someone came up to you. It all of a sudden turned all about them, and then that disturbed them. They called the cops, and then it turned into all about the cops. It stopped being an audit almost as soon as it began.
But it wasn't about them. It wasn't about them. It was supposed to be about the whole military base the whole time. We weren't playing.
Then you should have stopped. Then you should have allowed them to say what they want to say, and then left it alone at that, and then continue to film the base. Why didn't you do that? If it was all about the base, then why didn't you focus on the base instead of focusing on the people?
See,
that whole point could have avoided.
The biggest thing that I think a lot of things these auditors are forgetting is the phrase reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion gives them the right to stop, and reasonable suspicion has a definition that's different than every single person, from the public to the officers to government officials and even to the auditors. It's a reasonable suspicion. If you're out there in ski masks in the middle of summer, it's a reasonable suspicion of what normal person would be on the side of the road filming an installation with ski masks. It's a reasonable suspicion. So they actually did respond to that suspicion. So that's why they're interacting. If you would have been out there without the ski masks on, just walking like normal people, dressed like normal clothes, then the reasonable suspicion equation is gone. If you're wearing that information, you're basically setting up that interaction, because people around are not going to look at you like saying, hey, what's that normal Joe doing standing there? Instead, they're saying, hey, what's that guy dressed like furry potato doing standing over there doing what they're doing?
Sean, welcome. What do you got to say?
Howdy.
Oh, I'm just listening for right now because I don't know what I walked into.
Okay.
So
Yeah. No. See. Yeah. To me, that just said that just wasn't even an audit at all. It stopped being an audit almost immediately as it began because of how it transpired. Now, to your defense, I will say that I really don't see why the second cop rolled up with lights on like he was going to some emergency. That was a bit dramatic, if you ask me.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That was dramatic. He shouldn't have rolled up with lights on. The first officer started out decent.
It looked like
He
a pretty
didn't
busy
answer.
road to me.
It was very busy, but still, I mean, because it's a busy road, that doesn't necessarily mean they should show up with lights and flashing like that, especially for just a call for somebody, even though they're in a ski mask and filming a military installation. They could have rolled up without lights on. You know what I mean?
Meant
I
to
think that was
distract.
it.
It's meant to distract the perpetrator.
And let me just say, though, really quickly, I don't believe that he would have shown up with the lights and sirens if they had been more cooperative when the first cop showed up. Because, he had his lights and stuff on, the first cop, right? He pulled up and got out of his car, and they just, ran up on him and started, I mean, I can imagine that, and if we watch the video again, that he made a call right away and upped whatever kind of call he had and said, hurry up and get here, I need some assistance.
That's a good point. We don't know what was that cop was told when he rolled up, so we can't exactly necessarily fault the cop. So, okay, fair enough. That's very true.
Well, here's the deal, okay? So you guys are telling me to own up to something, but here's the deal, okay? So I use my Fifth Amendment right. There is a Fifth Amendment right inside the Constitution that says I have the right to remain silent. But if the officer escalates that Fifth Amendment right because I'm using that, if he escalates it, then it's my fault that he escalates it. It's all of a sudden my fault because I asserted my rights. That's what I'm not getting.
Diver, is the Fifth Amendment right? Isn't that only when you've been arrested and you've been read your Mirandas? I'm
Absolutely
confused about
not.
that.
Absolutely not. It does not trigger when you are informed that you're under arrest. It triggers when they signed the document back in 1703.
The Fifth Amendment does not give you the right to disobey direct orders from a police officer to back away from him. It doesn't. So tell me how you were exercising your Fifth Amendment right, approaching the officer continuously after he asked you to back up. And maybe I'll understand what you're trying to accomplish out there.
I wasn't trying to film a police officer afterwards. I was just walking around the car trying to get the identification and everything, trying to see who he was. Try to analyze the place.
What state were you guys in?
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nebraska is not a stop and ID state, or is it?
No.
So you didn't have any legal obligation to show your ID, which is why when you did not answer any questions, basically told you to stay off the road. And then Floyd started walking up towards the officer, getting all close. Then he got agitated, which I understand. Floyd's tactics are, they're his tactics. And that's what started the escalation for the situation. You, to your credit, did not really help de-escalate the situation that Floyd was already escalating, which is why the second officer showed up with the lights on. And then it just proceeded to go downhill from there. That's why I said. Let's see. Sean, anything to add?
Well, I'm reading. I'm looking at the Cornell Law School. Their feelings on the Fifth Amendment, and nowhere am I seeing the Fifth Amendment is under police questioning without being arrested.
You have the right to assert your Fifth Amendment at any point in time. They knock on your door, and you have the right to assert your Fifth Amendment. They stop
He's
you on
right
the
about
street.
that. He's
You
right
have the
about
right
that.
to
He
assert
can
your-
remain silent. He can remain silent right from the beginning. And now there have been some upper court cases that would say that you have to actually assert your right to remain silent. I'd like to remain silent so that they'll know what the hell you're doing. But I don't know if that has gone to the Supreme Court yet or not.
But if
So
you
yeah,
ask
you
to
have
present his
every
ID,
right to be quiet, and if you're not in a stop and ID state, you have every right not to identify yourself until you're arrested. But they still have a right to detain you. That doesn't mean that they can't put you in handcuffs and pat you down under a reasonable suspicion.
Right, and the
Why
ACLU of
wouldn't
and the ACLU of Nebraska even states that you do have the right to remain silent, but if you wish to exercise that right, make sure to say that out loud.
Well, the ACLU also says give your ID upon police request. So
Well, yeah,
No, but
that's just de-escalate the situation. They, they don't want the ACLU is pretty much trying so you don't get shot.
and how many videos have we seen published on YouTube where somebody starts stating their Fifth Amendment rights and then they don't shut up?
Oh yeah,
It's like over and over and over. It's like, please remain silent at this point because you're just
yeah.
going to say the same 5 things over and over and over. I'm just a Southern boy from New Orleans. I'm almost 60. And I just don't see the point of going out to a military installation and doing this. It serves no purpose in life whatsoever other than to get noticed or to publish in my world. Now, you may think otherwise, and you're probably a lot younger than me, so maybe different generations have different feelings. But to go to the 9/11 thing, because we're coming close to that anniversary, everybody's a little edgier than they were 20 years ago.
True.
And now, while it wasn't guys in masks running around, these were people who were assimilating, flying in our flight schools, getting information on airports, what security was, how much fuel went on. Sometimes you find out little things. I don't understand when these people are taking license plate numbers. That's not their business. And I'm waiting for the day that some policeman is shot at his house because somebody got information off one of these. And
It's
then
not
it's
going to
going to
happen.
hit.
You can get license plate numbers off the street. Just go outside. You can find license plate.
Okay, by filming and putting it out on YouTube, and 10,000 people see it, if not more. And you got one whack job, like alt-right has their whack jobs, and the one guy, hey cops, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go kill this policeman. I'm going to find out where he lives.
It'll never happen until it does.
Well, but you kind of trigger it when you put the information out there for everybody. I mean, if you did it privately, it's one thing, but when people can all watch the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You have the rights, but you have to use your rights responsibly.
I want to say one more thing because I have been out to military bases and filmed, so I'm not going to fault him for exercising his rights, but I do not get this this desire to wear ski masks or go out there armed or whatever to try and intentionally cause a bit of a panic. I mean that can cause a panic, and I don't get that. I don't get that.
Yeah, that's not a whole bunch of rookies out there. That's like real military guys. And
well, it depends. Was it an Air Force base?
Was it last year that they were publishing all this? We're going to go to Area 51 and say, see how fast you can get your butts blasted back off Area 51.
That was a good one.
And I just want to say something. Jojo, I am not sovereign. I know the laws apply to me. Cops are actually sovereign. They don't think the laws apply to them. I mean, not all of them, but some of them. They don't think the laws apply to them, and that's who I'm after. The ones who are sovereign.
Then copwad. Don't do this fake auditing shit.
Okay, and also when you're with the auditor, don't try and act like that auditor because it just you looked about as foolish as he does during one of his audits when he does shit like that. It really didn't work out for you because I think the first audit you showed there was promise in that one. This one right here, there's in my opinion, I think I could probably speak for everyone here. There was nothing redeemable in that video whatsoever. Nothing redeemable. I just don't see it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 0.
Dude, I mean, at least it wasn't like bad. Like it wasn't like, I was like up in his face yelling at him. Like
It was
seriously.
pretty bad. You almost got
It was
yourself caught.
bad.
Oh no, no, not the fact. I'm not saying like, yeah, no, you didn't do that, but it from the beginning it stopped being about the place you're originally auditing. It started being about people that pissed you off,
Yeah,
people that
and
upset you.
we make
That it
mistakes.
stopped being. No, no, I get it. No, I get it. What I'm saying is, I get that, but I'm just talking about this audit in general. Just it completely is nothing. There, it shouldn't have been about them. And then you use that same aggression, that pissed offness you had towards them, right when the cops rolled up. You were already again in attack mode, like you were in the first video, and it just kind of they were already. And then Floyd up there with his tactics, just walking up to a police officer and obviously making them feel uncomfortable. That put the officer in defensive mode. You were in attack mode. The officer was in defensive mode. That situation wasn't going to end well. It could have ended a lot worse than it did.
Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't rude to the officer. I was really nice to him. I mean,
at first, but then started getting rude with him.
Really?
You really did. Oh yeah.
Who
no,
was
all I
calling
said,
him a
no,
bitch?
all I
Who was
wasn't getting
calling him
rude
that?
with him. All I said was that I'm telling him what the law is. I'm telling him that I have the right to be here. That's all I said. I was just making sure he was on the same page as I was.
So I have a question for Extortion real quick. When it comes to what you're trying to do and the change you're trying to make, which I'm 110% behind, have you ever actually gone to, like, say, a city council meeting or gone to a local government meeting to try to show what you're trying to educate when it comes to the good old boy police officers? Because again, I think that's the major problem that most of you guys have out there is these good old boys that have been integrated. But what are you as a citizen doing in your community besides just recording on YouTube? Are you actually trying to go to the local press, not the big newspapers, but local press or even a city council meeting to speak out about what these officers are doing?
No, I'm not going to a city council meeting because here's the deal. Okay, so I call Mayor Jean Stothert, and she never does anything for me. She just she never calls me back. Nothing. I try to call her. I leave her voicemails. Stuff like that, trying to get a hold of her. Because there's some things that need to be addressed. She never listens. So what makes you think when I show up to the city council meetings that change will be addressed? I know if you hound them, but like nobody's got all that time.
No, I understand that. But the other question I have is, I mean, with your city council now, I'm not sure how your city is. I know how ours is, but every city council meeting of ours is recorded and on a public forum. And they are required to give you your moment of time to actually speak with them. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of wondering, because at least that way it's on public record, it's within the minutes, and at least you've had that voice, to show, and you can actually show on your YouTube channel that, hey, I went to this, here's the link, here's the documentation, this is what I'm trying to do. And at that point you're not being heard, why not go to the local papers and say, hey, this is the change I'm trying to make, but my voice isn't being heard? Build up steam in your community.
And a lot of papers have like guest editorials. You can write an op-ed.
Exactly.
And get it out there. And there's there for everybody to see, And if you go to the city council, don't yell. Don't get aggressive.
Right, because trying to go to a mayor, they're going to look at you like saying, oh, okay, it's just one of those auditors. But if you're actually trying to proactively work within your community by attending those council meetings, the validation for you is going to jump up 110%, because they're going to say, hey, this guy's actually making the effort to try to make that difference instead of just running around with the camera, filming stuff and putting it on YouTube. Now you've got the press behind you. Now you have hopefully a good newspaper editor. And if it's a crappy newspaper editor, go to the larger city newspaper, speak to those editors, get your voice out there. I understand you don't have a lot of time, but if you have enough time to devote your time to show this corruption, then you should be able to devote, your energy to that in an effective manner. I agree with what you're doing. I've watched a lot of your audits, and honestly, you're not one of those people that runs around accosting children or accosting people, when it comes to the general public, unless they start things with you. But again, I think you as an auditor would make such a huge difference in your community if you actually implemented that with it.
Yeah, there's 2 points I'd like to make. Are you aware that Ohio is not only a stop and ID state, but you are in a circuit of the U.S. Courts of Appeals that has not established public photography as a right?
No,
Did you
he's in
say
Nebraska.
Ohio?
He's in
I thought you
Nebraska.
said Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska.
Corrected. Was under the understanding he was in Ohio.
I want to just kind of expand on what Paul said in that, doing this kind of stuff really takes a lot of time and devotion to, I mean, it takes a lot of time. You need to get to know your city council members, and that means attending each meeting. I mean, I go up there every time they open the doors. So you need to be there, and you need to know who the players are, and you need to know what the nuances are and who supports who on that council if you ever want to get anything done.
Right. And that's how you make a difference, is by not just being that sole voice reaching out to God knows who on YouTube. It's about protecting your community, because that's what you guys are all about, protecting the public, protecting the rights of the citizens and the regular people. So in doing so, YouTube's not going to be the voice. It's being a voice in the city, in the community.
And as always, facts matter. You can't get emotional. If they say, well, how do you know there's corruption? You have to be able to prove it.
Right.
Have tangible proof. They say, okay, this is something we have to look into. I think so-and-so is crooked. Can you prove it? No. Okay.
Yeah. Now another thing, you said that you don't really have enough time to go and do all this, right? Now, if you would devote your time, video you make on YouTube, because all right, one of the things I noticed about your channels are you don't monetize your videos, so it's not like you're going to be losing out on any income from devoting your YouTube channel to city council meetings as opposed to the audits you do, right? Now, true, you might lose some of your viewership, but think about it, the viewership you do end up losing. Those guys aren't there to see real change. Those are the people that are there just to see you be aggressive towards the cops, to get one over on the cops. So that's not quality subscribers anyway. Those
Yeah,
are
but
just
you got to realize that I don't care about subscribers. I'd rather have like 5 subscribers that watch my channel than 200 who just don't give a crap.
Then just like what we were saying, the city council meetings.
Excuse
make
me.
your time to do that. You'll have much. You'll get.
Of course.
You'll have something. You'll get something accomplished.
The more issues you address, and the more I guess respect that you build in the community with what you're actually accomplishing, the more views you'll get, and the more of the right people will see your videos. And that's what it's all about, right? I mean, it's really not about, you have to work hard for that respect. It takes a while, I've been doing this for 8 years. I have 9,000 subscribers, so I mean, it just takes time.
Yes, I stand corrected. You're in Nebraska. My statement's still valid. Nebraska is a stop and ID state. I have a statute. I posted it. And by the way, the Eighth Circuit has not ruled quite yet, although there is a case before it right now.
I don't believe it is a stop and ID state.
Well, then read the statute that I posted in chat.
1 second. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, it is stop and ID.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think stop and ID is constitutional.
If anyone needs me, I'll be an angry tree.
I never been stopped and ID.
All right. So I mean, yeah, definitely. That was completely not it at all. I think the biggest thing that you need to work on is you get really excited. The cops start getting loud with you. Maybe work like you said in the first video how you're talking about you need to work on calming down and all that. Yeah, definitely do that. And stop fucking filming the public. If you're making a video solely on the military base, focus on the military base. Who cares what anyone else says? It's a video about them. When NBC or MSC or Fox, when they're filming a story and they get a heckler or they get something like that, they automatically stop filming, worrying about what they're filming, or do they and go to the people that are heckling them, or do they continue to do what they're doing? You guys claim you guys want to be treated as media, act like media.
Yes, revised statute 29-829. It's the stop and search in Nebraska. And I think that probably falls under for every state under the 10th Amendment. If it's not specific to the U.S. Constitution, then the states decide. Same thing with the popular right to travel thing.
All right, so we'll go. All right, so Extortion Watchers, what after hearing what do you think after hearing everyone's thoughts? What are your thoughts?
I support their First Amendment right to their opinion. I support it all the
At
way.
least you come in to listen, unlike others.
I mean, I don't care what they have to say. At least they're saying it, you know.
So do you see what they're talking about? Maybe there are some things that happen maybe the way you would if you could do it all over again. Would you do anything different with that audit, or would you conduct yourself the exact same way? That's my question.
Yeah, you're right. On the Omaha cop block, had told me to calm down a few times. You know, probably calm down a bit. You know, I'm gonna probably catch a disorderly conduct charge or something.
What about the filming the people sitting outside their house? Would you do that again?
I'd probably turn around and fill the base next time, and if they come up like that guy in the truck did, that's when they'll be filmed.
Okay,
You know?
yeah, that's fair. Because all right, I can understand that one. Okay, Diver.
Can I say one real quick thing to Extortion Watcher? That you know, as far as city council meeting goes, and I guess this applies to anybody that's watching, you don't necessarily have to go up there to the city council meetings. A lot of city council meetings are, you know, on the internet where you can watch them once a month. And if that's not available, then you can always request a copy of the minutes from the meetings, and you can kind of, you know, look back. Say if you want to get involved in city council and find out what's going on up there, ask for like the last 6 months of minutes of meetings, and you just read through it and see what they've been doing up there. They discuss all of their business at the meeting. So, you know, some bigger cities, they might have some big old minutes to have to read through, but smaller towns and stuff, pretty interesting. You can kind of see how things flow and how the bonding and how the bid process and all of those sorts of things work, and how, you know, laws are passed and things like that. Anyway, I don't have much time, so I'm fixing to pop off. I'm gonna listen for a few more minutes, but I just kind of wanted to add that and let him know that that's one way you can do it without having to go up there, you know, and sit through it.
Thanks, Teresa. It's always good hearing from you.
All right, so Mr. J, what do you think? You've been really quiet.
Well, if he has the time to do the audits, give up one audit, go to a city council meeting, go to a town council meeting. Get involved in the right way. I mean, I'm not telling you to give up the auditing, but it's not going to get you anywhere. It's really not.
Yeah, Paul.
Same thing. Honestly, Extortion, I think what you're doing is great. I like your videos. And with your drive and your determination, again, like I said earlier, I think you can make a really big impact. You're going to do what you want to do. I'm just saying in order to effectively make change as a whole, the auditors groups needs to be more proactive with being the bigger person for what you guys call tyrants. You know, if they're coming at you with an attitude, keep a level head. That's how you're going to be taken more seriously and be more effective on a grand scale. If you want to basically get the views and get the clicks and get monetized, that's certainly your prerogative. I'm just saying, if you truly, I mean, auditors as a whole, if they truly wanted to make an impact, they would be more impactful on their community and being more of a voice to the community, not just on YouTube.
Sean?
Yeah, I think what everybody said is correct. And this way, if you get one councilman or two councilmen who actually listen to you, you become almost like a lobbyist, but, you know, you're not giving them gifts. But if you impress them, they'll probably listen more, and they'll have you to their office and sit down and listen to you one-on-one. So you start out with the big group, and you try to find the smaller group. You find the ones who are the most honored, the most listened to and respected. Change their opinions.
Okay. All right. So what would you guys like? What would you guys grade that audit? I wouldn't even call it an audit. Sorry, man. I'm gonna have to give that one a 0 just because it got out of hand when it even started. That's my opinion. Diver doesn't give his. Mrs. J, what do you think?
No, I'd already said a 0. It was just wrong, and I do not see the purpose of quote unquote auditing military bases. And you're obviously, I'm coming from a military family, but I just don't see it.
Paul?
I would have to say I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to say about a 3 or 4. I understand the idea behind it. It's just the way they went about it was incorrect. The masks were a definite negative to the impact they were trying to make.
Fair enough. Sean?
I didn't see it. I came in late, so
Oh, that's right. You didn't see it. You didn't see it.
I won't say anything. Yeah.
All right. So, what about you guys in the audience? I'm pretty much guessing you're all probably going to say something 0 or negative, but I'm going to go ahead and ask anyway. Maybe there'll be someone who liked it. All right. So, while we're waiting for that, does anybody else have anything? Extortion Watch, you have anything else you would like to add to this?
No, I don't have nothing I'd like to add. That's what happened, and that's the story.
Fair enough. So we got a 0 from Luigi Cart. Cheryl also gives it a 0.
One thing that I will say is you have to realize something about the government. Every in the government has the ability to write federal code of regulations. They can create time, place, and manner restrictions within their own properties. Just because the DHS memo says what it says, just because Poster 7 says, doesn't mean that any other agency can't have its own rules, and they do. The VA has their own rules. The DOT has their own rules. The Department of Defense has their own rules. It's a lot to look for, but if you're planning on doing a specific site, do the research. Make it in-depth research, because I don't know what age you are. I don't know where you are in point of life. If you're young and you get a police record, it's going to kill a whole lot of careers you may have wanted.
And same thing with doing things on YouTube. They can watch those also.
I pop into the chat even though I can't chat. This is interesting.
Yeah, so I just want to add something positive to this. I'm with Paul on this. I do believe that you can get some stuff accomplished, and I personally would like to see you do some city council type things, or perhaps get away from the auditing and do more cop watching, especially with the COVID going on, because there are a lot of places where you can go, with COVID going on anyway. Get towards the cop watching and maybe do a city council, because I agree with him. I think you would get some stuff taken care of. You've got a demeanor. You've got this kind of way about you. Your demeanor is very unassuming, and but yet you're tenacious. It would benefit you to do that, and it might take some time, and you might end up having to do it for a while. And but you put it on your YouTube channel. Not only you can reach out to local media might reach out to you and say, "Hey, we're seeing this. We want to talk to you about it," and it'll get you even more exposure. And then it'll get you clout, and then they will not be able to ignore you like they are now. It's
Exactly.
going to take time and it'll take effort, but it will happen. I think that you could really be a driving force, at least in your area, for something like this, and because you're not in it for the monetary gain, which is what I think is important. That's the most important thing I found with you, is you're not in it for the monetary gain. You talk about how you don't care about your subscribers, count or whatever. and also the fact that you come on channels like this, you go on a court, you're willing to listen to both sides of an argument, and I don't know many auditors that do that. So that's a positive walk. Good, at least for you to take away from this.
Yeah, he's very articulate too, which will definitely. I mean, that's the thing. He's not the typical auditor that I usually hear with Josh and Glenn that just kind of mumble or immediately go towards the vulgarities and such. You're very articulate. You actually you define your meaning. You have a way about you, and that's why I think you'd make a successful impact on that. So I want to reiterate, yeah, Kenny's 100% right. You can make that impact because of just the way you carry yourself, and I think you're going to go, you would be able to soar further in making a difference. Because if you're looking to make that change, then make that change. And honestly, I hope to God you do. But again, you're going to do what you want for whatever reasons you have. I'm just saying from an outside perspective, I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm saying you're doing a great job, and I think you're going to make a huge difference if you go about it more level-headed and going further in the community to make your voice heard as well. I mean, there's a lot of bad city councils out there. There's a lot of people that aren't going to listen. But when you're going out, as you said before, about talking to the mayor and emailing the mayor, that's not going to go very far because you're singling an individual out. You're not talking to the city community or the city council as a whole. There's many different factors in there that makes that difference. The chief of police is there, the mayor is there, the city planners are there. Those folks are there, and a lot of times local media is there to cover it as well. And so if you say something that strikes a nerve with them, calling out the local law enforcement, that local press is going to say, hey, wait a second. And as Kenny said, they're going to actually reach out to you and say, hey, so what happened with this? And you can show that YouTube video saying, hey, this is what I tried to accomplish. This is what I want to get out there that's not being done properly.
Absolutely. So like we say, you're going to do what you want to do. That's fine. You can do whatever you want to do as far as watchers, but there's a few people that think that a lot of people here could think that you could do better. As you can see, we saw Kimber said she thinks you have potential. Cover Doll, we just talked about maybe get to know the laws a little better, but I think but that's the thing. No one's perfect. We all have things we can learn. I know I have many things I need to learn. I'm not perfect from a long shot. But just, give it some thought. If you choose not to, hey, whatever. Then, you choose not to. It's your life, your channel. You run it the way you see fit. But just some constructive criticism and some just food for thought. Food for thought.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that was unexpected because it's been shared like 500,000 times. It's got like 500,000 views on 3 different platforms.
You want to know why? I can tell you exactly why. It's because of the aggressiveness, the aggressive nature of the people. All the people that watch, I guarantee you, most of them hate cops. Guarantee. It's the fact that you're so aggressive to the cops. You and Floyd both. The fact that the people overreacted, and the fact you had to film them, and it stopped being about the audit. That's why it got. And then of course that's why it got it. I guarantee you now. Take that video, and then let's say you went to a city council. One's going to accomplish more than the other, yet the one that's going to accomplish more is also going to net you a lot fewer views.
Yeah, of course. You're right. If I took it to the city council meeting instead.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying don't post some videos that you have bad interactions with cops. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying do something. Be different. Don't be like other auditors. They post their interactions with the cops and they put them on YouTube and they said, okay, that's it. I'm done. I just want to educate YouTube. Take them to the city council meeting like once a month. When you even if you just go once a month, take your worst videos where you said this is what these cops in this area are doing to me. Blah blah blah, whatever. Show it to the city council. Do it every month. They'll start expecting you. They'll start seeing it, and when they see something truly wrong, you can get something done. And if they don't do something, then hell, you get them ignoring potential wrong, some sort of potential wrongdoing, and you can get a lot more done and get more exposure because the media will catch on and say, well, telling me this cop did this, and the city council did nothing. You think a media is going to let that sleep, just lie down? No, they're going to take that up and do something about it. So it could benefit you on many different levels.
Yeah, social media as well. If you show that and you actually implement that into your video showing that, hey, I went to the city council and they ignored me, even social media backers are going to back you 100% too. The true auditors and even the auditing fans such as Kenny and the folks that watch Kenny and Masshole and all those other guys, they're going to stand behind you because you effectively tried making a difference. You weren't antagonizing it or pushing it. You were truly trying to make a difference. And that's how you get that successful backing from your viewers.
Absolutely, that's precisely what I'm getting at. So yeah, Source Watchers, like I said, it's up to you, but yeah, like you're saying, I'm sure you didn't get a whole lot of while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the comments from that video. Let's see what kind of. Now I'm curious to see what kind of comments you got from that video. Since we're here. I gotta open it back up again.
They were good comments, which is why I was surprised.
Which we'll explain. I'll look at it and we'll explain why. Well, this will just be our interpretation. But
hey, while you're queuing that up real quick, Extortion on the video, because I was actually in the chat when this came up, but the video you had with the Department of Homeland Security officer, I think you were 110% in the right. And if you look at the end of your video, well, except for the license plate thing, but if you look at the end of the video, even the law enforcer or the Department of Homeland Security actual officer that came out, he knew what you were trying to do and he agreed with what you were trying to do. But the level-headedness, I think that's what kind of downed your credibility a little bit, was just because you fired back at him. And if you would have kept a level head, it would have been a perfect audit. And that's, again, like I said, I think you did a great job doing what you were trying to do with the audit. But again, you educated that officer, but I think with a level head, he probably would have taken it a little bit more seriously.
And then again,
Well,
you
there's
could have
a
just said,
difference.
when he asked you, can I help you? Back with, what are you offering?
Yeah, I like that. But that goes back to what
There's
Kenny
a
said. I
difference
want cake.
between agreeing.
Yeah, right.
There's a
I want
difference
cake.
with agreeing with what you're doing and being able to do it. He
Right.
was agreeing that he was able to do it, not necessarily that he was right in doing it.
Right. You don't see, I mean, that's my biggest thing with the auditing community as a whole right now. Yeah, you legally can walk into a Department of Family Services. You legally can walk up to a abusive woman shelter and legally photograph, but why would you? And that brings back the morality factor of auditors, that's having morals. A lot of the auditors that are considered frauditors, or actually all the auditors that are considered frauditors, have no morals. My biggest stand on that is, how would you feel if your wife, your mom, your daughter was there and somebody came up and antagonized them with the camera right in their face? Personally, I'm going to defend my significant other or my loved one, first and foremost. So yeah, I'm gonna go after it. I haven't seen, Extortion do that at all. So, but again, though, it's the morality of why we do what you do.
Yeah, and another good example would be, let's say you're out with your lady, George Watches, your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever, and you're just hanging out, and all of a sudden some dude comes up and starts filming and going, "Oh yeah, baby, oh shake what your mama gave you." Legally, he could do that. You're not going to be too happy about that. You're probably going to smack him in his head a few times, correct?
I mean, it's his right. I mean, I can't do nothing about it. It's his right to film whatever he wants.
Well, actually, with that, if he's actually walking up and filming that technically can be classified under the voyeurism law, because you're getting a sexual gratification, which is against the law.
Well, there you go. Well, good thing for the voyeurism laws, huh?
Well,
so let's get the comments we got. Frank says, "Officer physically strikes a civilian with the camera. I just gave you an order. I have a feeling get a talking to when the complaint is filed. Tell me that's the case, because if it isn't, they're just dumping gasoline on the fire they have created." Now, did you do any kind of follow-up to this?
No, there's no follow-up to it. No, I mean, I tried to sue. I'm trying to sue right now. It just happened, but it's just, you can't sue for nominal damages here in Nebraska.
So Rulin keeps walking forward while he says step back to the guys who want his badge. Why didn't that stupid cop stop walking forward? Cop was itching for a fight. The police
Yeah.
played this whole thing. These cops are bad egos. Now, I don't agree that the cop was instigating that, because before he said step back and you guys started walking forward, well, what did he say? He asked you for your ID. You guys didn't give your ID. You guys kept quiet. He said, okay, you guys don't want ID. All right, you guys just move towards the thing, sidewalk.
We didn't say we didn't want to ID. We didn't say that. He put words in our mouths.
But obviously you didn't. But you didn't ID. It doesn't matter. The point is you didn't ID. He didn't have issue with you not IDing them. He kept asking you, yeah, but he didn't say you have to ID, did he? He never said that.
No,
so
no.
He wasn't trying to make you ID. He was just saying, okay, he was probably more talking to himself. Like, all right, so you guys don't want ID. Well, just stand back. You can't be on the highway. And you guys started arguing about if you can be on the highway or not. Then Floyd walking up to him, and that's when he starts getting upset. So the way I see it that way, no, Floyd instigated that. It wasn't the cops. The cops reacted to Floyd walking up to him aggressively like that. So that's my comment on that. Anyone, what does everyone else think about that?
What are you trying to sue them for? What?
Assaulting me.
Oh, you don't know the meaning of assault. Just by him pushing you back when you're approaching him, that is not.
No,
assault.
I didn't approach him. I stepped back, and then if you looked closely, I stepped back, and he pushed me back as I stepped back. I started to step
I
back.
saw forward motion in the camera.
Oh, well.
I saw continuous forward motion in the camera until he pushed you back, and then you started screaming assault.
Yeah, but they got forward on us first. I mean, because they were on their way to the car, and then we got a little closer, and then they just came clear close to us and just started yelling, "Get back!" If you notice, they didn't have to do that. They could just
poke the bear, you're gonna get a reaction. Plain and simple. I mean, these guys are under a lot of stress. Does anybody ever think that? Whether they're good or they're bad, they're under a lot of stress right now. And if you're just going to push the issue, you're going to get a reaction. I mean, God, there aren't that many saints out there.
That young cop was just begging someone to send him to the dentist. Too many visits to the donut shop for this cop and not enough exercise. Future heart attack signing there. See, those are just people that hate the cops too, right now. They just hate the cops. Nothing a cop do is good enough for them. A cop helps an old lady across the street. Well, maybe you could have walked a little slower. A cop brings a homeless guy a meal. What if this guy's allergic to fish? I mean, they find something wrong with anything a cop did. There will be nothing a cop could do that would be enough for them. Just like there's the opposite. There's people that don't think there's anything right an auditor can do. It goes both ways, right? And that's just the truth of it. It goes both ways. So here we go. Another one I'm talking about is weight. Security guards at the malls are probably better trained than these deputies. Another one just hates the cops. See how many you have in your people that just dislike the cops. That's what majority of your views here. And then the way you phrase the video also probably another reason it got so many views. Assaulted in big letters. Come on, you knew that was going to grab you a few thousand more views easily just with that phrase, First Amendment audit in the title.
Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't so. I mean,
I know I'm not. I know you're not trying. I know you weren't trying to do anything like that. But I'm just saying you're talking about how what a good how he did so well. Well, yeah, because it's showing the cops in a bad light. They got aggressive with you. You know, you got aggressive with them. People like to see that. And you put assaulted, First Amendment audit, man, that's a winner right there. That's a winner right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. And there are a few. I mean, I don't think I've seen one that's talking how that didn't agree with what you're saying. Look, are there any? Or are there how many thumbs down were there? Only 56 thumbs down.
Yeah, I don't
That's
give
not too
any
bad at all.
videos.
Neither do I, thank God.
And I don't really care about thumbs down. It's engagement. It gives me engagement. So
Yeah,
it's cool.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, Noli's here. What's up, Noli? How are you today? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give everyone a chance to kind of like say something last minute, and then we're gonna call this one good. Extortion Watchers, did you have anything last minute you would like to say, sir?
Well, no, I don't have anything last minute. I said everything I need to be said.
Fair enough. Well, maybe take some what we said and then perform another
Mhm.
audit, and then we can come and judge. We can show that one too. See,
Okay, yeah.
see how you do. Diver, you got anything last minute to say, sir?
Yes. Real quick question. Are you on Discord?
Who?
Extortion Watchers.
One more time?
Are you on Discord?
No.
All right. The URL I put in last here in the private chat is a online site dealing with auditards, auditors, frauditors, and activists, but it also has a library of all 50 states and territories for their statutes and quite a few other items in there that could be of interest to you. You could just, like I say, search the library for just Nebraska, but it would behoove you to start looking into what statutes deal with your public photography and public recording. And as I said, it's the Eighth Circuit, so the Eighth Federal Circuit has yet to deal with either.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
But as I said earlier, there is a case that they will be taking up later this month. You might want to go to the Eighth Circuit and see if you can find it. It has to do with public photography and the confiscation of a individual's equipment.
Yeah, I will. Definitely.
Mrs. J.
Well, since Kenny mentioned it, I'm going to put this out there. Since you say you're not about the clicks and views and monetizing, I'm going to hold you to that. I will keep watch. I mean, you have a right to do that, but if that's what you claim you're not all about, then prove it.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Sean.
Said I commend him. I see him on here often. He comes in and he has back and forth. He believes what he believes. We believe what we believe. But we do it with civil discourse, which I admire. Because unlike some of our others who come on for 5 seconds, troll and leave.
Oh, you
and not
couldn't be
just
talking
here,
about
but on
Patty,
the other
right?
ones too. And some who say they're going to come in and never show up.
Oh, a few of those.
Bitch
Dang it,
cups.
Bobby.
Well, Bobby and also Daddy
Josh.
Teacups. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, boy, I'm
Bitch,
sorry that this
bitch.
Saturday, I just from reading some of that stuff back, whoopee. Sounds like you had a doozy of a day.
By the way.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't talk. Kenny, I will try that program you said, so everybody watch for notification that I'm going to try a live chat. It's just going to be a test, but
okay,
I'm going to try it.
I have you on my subscription, so I will know.
Okay. I just want to thank everyone for taking part in this. Extortion Watchers, thanks for being a good sport, showing 2 of your videos. You weathered the eye of the storm. Second video really didn't go very well at all. First video, you got some constructive criticism. I hope you take it all in stride, and if you agree with anything anyone said, I do hope that you take some of the suggestions to heart and improve yourself. I know that you don't believe you're perfect or you're doing audits perfect. I know that you also believe that you have room to grow. So I do hope you do grow and I look forward to actually hoping to see a video of you going into a city council meeting in the near future. Even if it's just one, I think it would be awesome. I'd watch the shit out of it. I'd promote the shit. I would watch the shit out of it because you don't see it too often. Anyway, thanks for joining. Diver, thank you for all the information. Always knowledgeable, always fun. Mrs. J, thank you for showing up and putting in your 2 cents. Sean, thanks for joining in, even though you joined in kind of late.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for joining in anyway.
I was working.
Oh, well, that's good enough excuse.
Yes.
Yeah, real quick, if everybody can see it, that last URL I posted, if you want to see what the other side sees of us, that is a great document to read. It's a little bit long, but the first few sections are what's valuable. It is a master's thesis for a police officer in military college. And I want to tell you something. It is very revealing of how the other side sees it.
Oh man, absolutely. I've actually referenced some of this in a few videos. They talked about auditors by name, and man, just it's good. You guys should definitely check it out.
Yeah, I believe he
very
reviewed
good.
something like 57 or 59 different videos.
Yeah, it's fantastic. If you are interested in watching, definitely do so. It's enlightening, very enlightening. Thanks, Nola D, for joining me, even though you're late too. Kimber, you were kind of late too, but thank you anyway. Cheryl, thanks, ma'am. Thanks for hanging out. Randy, thank you. Kat, thank you. Who else? Tim, thank you. Stop drinking the Paps.
Yeah.
Mike Infamous, thank you. Comfort Doll, Dave. Who else? I think that's it.
Josh!
Anyone else? And anyone else who
Good night, John Boy.
Yeah. Anybody else who I missed, thank you for joining. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope we can get more auditors to do the same, come in and weather the storm like Extortion. How bad was Extortion Waters? Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be? Was it not as bad? Was it worse than you thought it was going to be?
No, it wasn't bad at all. I mean, I don't feel nothing from it. I mean, I understand. I'll take everybody's advice, but I mean, I don't feel like, hurt
You're
because of
attacked. You don't feel attacked?
No, I don't feel attacked. Nothing that I would like to censor their opinion or anything like that. They can go in my channel and comment whatever they want. I mean, it's cool with me. I'm cool with everybody's opinion. That's what I'm trying to say.
I got you. Fair enough.
We're just used to being blocked off auditors' channels right in 5 seconds.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think that's one thing. Well, I won't say all auditors that watch my channel. No, I won't say that because I know Audit in Chicago watches on occasion, and I do know he likes to do kinds of censoring from what I understand. Josh, of course, watches every once in a while. Patty, they like to censor it. So not all auditors that watch, but there are some auditors that watch that don't mind the other side, our side. He's one of them, and there's a few others. So, I think it's great. So anyway, guys, thanks. I'll have a new video tomorrow, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks, everyone, for joining me, and stay safe out there. And go terrorize the squirrel for me. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. But anyway, have fun, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.